The following podcast contains naughty language and ridiculous situations. Listener discretion is advised.
Tonight, we watch a supernatural siege film and a throwback slasher film, all with the aid of the beautiful and talented MonsterZero.
Oh, shuck.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Trick or Treat Radio.
Welcome all you little zombies. You are listening to Trick or Treat Radio, starring the Deadites.
Welcome to episode 167 of Trick or Treat Radio. Trick or Treat Radio is a phantasmagorical spin kick straight through the heart of pop culture. It is navigated by the Deadites. The Deadites are the world's greatest electroshock band. We destroy monsters, we drink booze, we win championship belts, and we also have crazy interviews with, what was his name?
Greg Sherman.
Gene Simmons. I'm
Gene
sorry.
Simmons. Yeah, the craziest thing about that was that somebody was like, I need 4 people who are going to really have a smart point of view about the socio-political effects of horror. Dynamo, Johnny Wolfenstein, Andy Christ, and Ethan McGloofabits. Perfect.
We were surprisingly lucid. Like, the interviewer was the one who was making the dick jokes.
Yeah. While I blew it on Talk Without Rhythm this week, I felt like I did pretty good. I would have, of course, Foxy. I feel like it's so weird though. I wasn't to that interviewer's credit though, because he was so. And I talked to Silica about this today, who's been interviewed about him individually. He said the same thing. He's like, you don't have the opportunity to be uncomfortable because like. He keeps everything flowing, but he also says crazy things. So you're like, what's going on? And then you get to the end of the interview, and you're like, oh, well, you know, I didn't have the chance. Like, I get on fucking Talk Without Rhythm, and I'm just that guy who was in that movie. I don't know why I fall apart every time.
You were good on that show.
This time?
I listened.
Really?
You did? No, you
I
did
know
not.
Bruce Brody.
No.
Bruce Brody.
Bruce
did the
Brody.
beginning. They did the. You played our intro in the early on.
What? I don't know what you're talking about.
He did. I listened to the show.
Yeah, good.
The Phantasm. The other one.
Yep. Phantasm Dose.
Hey, boy.
Right.
Yeah, boy. Hellraiser Part 2.
Pardos?
Part Deuce.
So as is customary on before we ramble on, before we talk to ourselves and to entertain ourselves, which is really, as today's other interview proved, a skill we have better than anyone. Nothing like putting a room full of people on the wrong side of 40 in a room with hats. And I think that we put on every hat in the costume outlet,
And the wig, even though we weren't supposed to.
Yeah, the wig, the hat. Took a Jason mask out of a package so that Tiny White could be in the photo. Like we put the mask on a
Rocky Dennis, that is.
Yeah. Yep. We put the Rocky Dennis on.
Oh, there was a Rocky Dennis mask there?
No, I wish. I wouldn't.
Yeah, there was.
I wouldn't have left the store without it.
I thought there was a Rocky Dennis mask, but it said
Necrogoblicon.
it said M.
And the Rocky Dennis mask shining on my face.
It said M. Zebra podcast host. It's a generic podcast.
M
host
Hero.
mask. Yeah. So she is a phenomenal artist.
Mm-hmm.
She is
Check.
a great lady.
Check.
We has definitely been.
We has.
Yeah, we has definitely like cheeseburgers.
Check.
We has definitely been on the internet for 48 hours trying to name our company while she silently and very politely thought that me and our partner, the Rev, were complete fucking idiots.
And you're also her girlfriend?
Comic book wife.
Okay. Oh, you
Yeah.
guys got married. Okay.
Yeah, it's
Sorry.
good. We don't fucking sleep on us. We move fast. I'm waiting for the honeymoon, but ladies and gentlemen, here tonight with us for the first time, which is fucking outrageous.
It is.
One of the Trick or Treat Radio OGs, Jenny Isme.
Hey.
Welcome, Jenny. This is fucking awesome.
I'm glad to be here. Super stoked.
Awesome. And you have brought presents and guests as well. So tell us about the present you brought.
She
to
brought
everyone.
incense and frankenfurter.
Incense and peppermints.
I brought a seasonal beverage. I brought Leinenkugel Harvest Shandy.
which most of us are imbibing in.
Yes.
Yep.
Because all the best beers are the limited edition ones.
Sure.
Always the ones they're going to take away from you.
This is all right.
I lived in a shandy in
And
1996.
quite
that's
good.
coming from a guy who drinks shit beer.
Yeah. Who drinks fucking Rolling Rock?
Listen, I got a bit better time telling you what I don't drink.
Yeah, like that.
You drink
Yeah.
Ling Ling.
Yeah.
Yingling.
What a surprise.
Yingling.
He likes this
Carlos.
beer.
Carlos drinks the Yingling.
Yeah,
He's
that-
see?
real
Ling
into
Ling.
it.
That
Ling
that-
Ling. It's
Ling
panda
Ling.
piss.
No, it's not
Panda
panda.
piss.
Yeah, that beer for you is the difference between getting raped by a hobo in a threesome with the Swedish swimsuit team on a giant waterbed.
I better fucking drink a lot then.
Yeah, because sooner or later they're all going to feel the same.
You're doing it differently.
Yeah, you don't. Like,
Yeah.
I must be doing it wrong.
Your
yeah,
method is a little off.
there's absolutely no doubt in my mind that you're doing it wrong.
I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it.
So not only did Jenny bring gifts, she also brought a guest who is now joining us on Skype. Why don't you go ahead and introduce the other guest?
So I brought along with me Carlos, or Los Cretin. He is, I guess if Dynamo is my comic wife, he is my haunting wife. We've never discussed this. I know it's pretty forward, but I think he'll accept
You guys are all very feminine.
that. Yeah,
It's true.
So Los Cretin, welcome to Trick or Treat Radio. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
No problem. So Los, why don't you go ahead and tell folks a little bit about yourself? Obviously, you have you do a lot of stuff as it regards haunting and scaring the fuck out of people. So why don't you talk just a little bit about that?
I'm a 12-year haunt veteran. I've done 100 houses around the country. And Phoenix, Texas, Louisiana, New Mexico, California. Then recently, the last 3 years, been up here in the East Coast.
Nice.
he's a haunt drifter. So
Yeah.
So you
No
decided
man.
to settle down in good old Worcester, Massachusetts, after all those awesome places.
Yeah, I just ran out of gas.
If he had more, he'd get the hell out of here. Believe me.
That's what most people say when they end up in Worcester. Why are you here? I ran out of gas.
I got stuck in the snow with a two-wheel drive, and I'm like, fuck.
You know, the funny thing, that's happened to me too. That's why I'm still here.
Your Los Cretin's wrestling not surname, but his wrestling nickname, like if his name was Los Cretin, it would be ladies and gentlemen, the Wayfarer from wherever, Los Cretin.
What is he, a heel?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, we can't tell why he's so over. Held the title, but still blames me for booking him poorly. Michael Ravenshadow.
Oh, that's familiar.
I got all the way home, got my clothes off, got in bed, and I was like, wait a minute, that fucking guy that was the champion.
It's true.
You booked me bad.
Bitching about booking.
Hey. Wasn't the only one.
Oh, we have lots of people hanging out in the chat room. We have Jethronomicon representing.
Nothing's
Oh,
ever
snap.
easy.
Nope. And he says, oh, who is the cute girl with the green hair?
That's me, sir.
And they said, come to Butthead.
Wow. It's forward.
Yeah, it's very
Yeah,
forward.
he doesn't waste any time.
That's my job.
Slow it down.
Reservoir Doug is hanging out, and he says, I'm glad she's there. It counteracts all the ugly in that
It's
room.
Hey.
No, he's right.
That's
he's
fair.
right.
Ironically, Jenny made me ride in the back seat here. She says it was because the front seat door was broke, but I think it's because I generally get so handsy. Like Wolfie today, I was grabbing his lap.
Yeah, it was awkward.
That's fun.
Yeah. We also have Jeannette hanging out from Haunting TV.
Oh my God, I
all
miss
right.
Jeannette so much.
She says hi.
I know, it's been a while.
Yeah, I miss you, Jeannette. How are you, kid? No, it really has. I haven't seen or spoke with Jeannette since the Trick or Treat Radio cookout.
Yeah.
I
That
can't
was
tell
like
if
what?
you're
That
being
was like what?
facetious.
No, I'm not being facetious. I'm being sincere.
That was it. That was.
It was like 2 months ago or a month and a half ago.
that was about 3 weeks ago.
wait, there was a
Wasn't that
cookout?
back in '84? No,
No,
asshole.
it was a little. I thought it was longer than that.
I was the one that was on morphine for 3 days. Like, if anybody should have been dropping days,
Am I just finding this out now? There was a cookout?
you were camping.
Oh, okay. That's all right then.
Yeah, don't do that.
Or so you said.
I saw pictures.
Yeah. But yeah. So I'm super excited. It's going to be awesome. My second favorite podcaster in the world, Michael Ravenshadow, is here.
Second favorite? Who's your
Yep.
first?
Pretty much all the other podcasters are tied for first.
Okay, Bobby the Brain.
I'm going to pull out some classics today.
Oh yeah.
All right. Well, before we get too derailed, what I want to talk a little bit more about haunting, since we do have Los Cretin here and we have Jenny. And so, Jenny, why don't you tell us where you guys are currently working and where people can come get the piss scared out of them?
Absolutely. So we are at the Factory of Terror. We're at the Worcester location. There are 3 different locations. We have Fall River, we've got Warwick, Rhode Island, and Worcester. And I am absolutely 100%
Fall River?
biased. Yeah, we're down in Fall River.
Did you just put a sign up at the town line that said Factory of Terror?
Now entering.
They found
Population.
it like that, I think. But yeah, so we're the Worcester house. Carlos and I are both there, and so terribly, deeply biased that we are the best. But we are also the biggest. We're the largest indoor haunted attraction in New England.
Wow.
So yeah, we have a lot of space. I mean, when you come in, an average walkthrough is going to take you about 40 minutes. If you're
Nice.
moving at a decent clip, you can maybe make it in 20, but that would be really tough to do. So you get your money's worth.
Now, if
It's
you're
a long
fucking
night.
baby like me and is running through it like top speed, how fast will I
That
go
might be
through
like
it?
a 20-minute run.
Okay, good.
Like, Los, what do you think? Like
Jesus
maybe
Christ.
20 minutes if you're really hoofing it?
No, it may be like an hour because you'll probably trip twice, like in any movie.
Yeah. Well, I can assure you I won't be able to run for 20 minutes, so don't worry about that.
Well, haunting's a lot of fun, as Johnny and myself can testify. We've had a ball.
That's right.
Doing
We used to do that back
Yeah.
back in the day.
Way back in the day.
You used to work in Mineshaft.
Das Mannschaft.
Jawohl.
Yes, it was fun, and it's fun to scare the crap out of people.
Literally.
Yeah,
Oh,
literally,
yeah.
yeah.
Literally.
Did
and,
you-
And PP.
Yeah, we had one. We had
Yeah, you know
a
me.
puddle our first night.
Really?
This year we had a puddle our first
Of
night.
pee?
Really?
Yeah, that's a little bit of piddle right there on the floor. We didn't see it happen. We just found a puddle and then a trail of footsteps.
Kind of like when oil starts dripping from your car or antifreeze.
Ravenshadow, where were you that night?
I don't want to talk about it. But I work at a comic shop too, so I'm like, I play the game like, I hope that's water,
Right. Yeah.
and it's not
Yeah, well,
always water.
without
Ravenshadow just couldn't find the bathroom in time.
Without
time.
pulling back the curtain, how many times over the course of the week do you think that happens to me? If we don't break double digits of me
17, 18
of me
times.
finding like a mystery pile of fluid in the middle of the establishment I work at, like
that could be fair.
yeah, it's
I'll
no
say
good.
about 17, but then again, you can always blame it on somebody else.
Yeah, well, it's not me.
I would just
Yeah.
want
I
to
get
know.
down. I'm like, why does this pee smell like Hot Pockets?
Well, I want to know the ratio of like liquid to chunky. For you.
Oh,
Chunky for me.
he loves chunky
So-
bars.
Classy
If
place.
I get to if I know that there's chunky from where about we parked, I'll start gagging and make Sing Sang Soon go clean it.
Who's dragon?
Yeah.
Oh shit, we got Rocky hanging out too.
Oh, snap.
Rocky's back.
Rocky, Jeannette, where's the ledge? Where's the SL? Yeah, they all came out.
Look
for,
at the bin. We're looking tiny.
Yeah,
Reservoir Doug says Dynamo is right about Fall River. It's like you're in the movie Judgment Night when you enter that city.
it's bad times.
Judgment Night.
No Winnebagos.
I wrestled in Fall River for a
it's
while, and I was
amazing.
doing a like a kind of a gay tag team sort of thing at the time.
Oh, that's a stretch. Hey.
And,
You and,
connection.
wait, you and Tiny, right?
No, it wasn't me. But I think it's funny because I don't know what was more scary: the fact that they believed that I turned flaming cliche, like homosexual over the course of the show, or that in Fall River wrestling was real. So either way. Any fucking you don't set up a haunt in a town where they think that the space program is fake and wrestling is real. Like that's not a good idea.
Well, let me go ahead and ask Los. I don't know if you can pick one of your favorite things, but I guess if it's not just one thing, what do you like most about haunting? Obviously, you've done it for quite a while now, all over the place. So, what do you like most about it?
It's the interaction, man. It's like you don't get the same feel or the same thing going every time. Like I've been to extreme haunts where they touch you and they put you in cells and slap you around or.
Oh, that's Ravenshadow's basement.
Yeah, that was you.
I think the worst experience I ever had, and I actually kind of laughed and I thought it was pretty amazing, was getting dunked, getting completely chained, a snorkel with a flashlight on it, getting dunked upside down in a tank with eels around me, and like there was no way to get out or safe word. So,
That sounds a little crazy.
yeah, it was an extreme hunt down in San Diego. So
Awesome.
That doesn't. Call me fucking nuts, but that doesn't sound fun.
Yeah.
Now yes, I'm scared. So mission accomplished. But I'm also like, the headline reads, "Angry Irish guy clubs 5 people to death at haunt."
Okay, so you've told me about that one before, but I never actually got to ask you. Do they tell you in advance to like bring a change of clothes, or do you just go home like wet and sad?
It's like Michael Ravenshadow after a death show.
Ravenshadow knows that 7 times,
Yeah.
7 nights a week.
Yeah, I'm the only guy in this room that fucking knows that emotion. Not you, Jenny.
Oh boy. Where's Larry Fine when we need
Oh,
him?
boy.
Yeah, thank you. All right. So,
I'm warning you.
and obviously, I think most people probably know the answer to this question. But Jenny, when is I almost call it Tower of Terror? I'm thinking of fucking going to the Twilight Zone ride. Factory of Terror. When is it open and when can people go?
So Factory of Terror, we are open weekends from now through the weekend after Halloween. So I mean, if you don't go before Halloween, you're a loser. But if you can make it out and you have nothing else to do the weekend after, it's a nice way to extend the season a little.
Yeah,
These
but I
guys
don't
got
like-
nothing to do.
I don't like lines though.
That there
Not
is
Michael Ravenshadow.
There's- now that you mention it, there is a VIP pass that you can skip the line. and you
Nice.
can
If
just
only
come
we
hang
knew
out at the
somebody who
front.
had a
Yeah.
connection to
Right.
Factory of Terror.
And also on factoryofterror.com, you can get schedules for all 3 haunts. And there is a discount, which I've never had to pay to get in because I work there, so I don't know how much it is. But factoryofterror.com will tell you all about going to more than one and get money off, and it's great.
So you can go to the Fall River one, which encompasses the whole city apparently.
That you can see the spectrum.
The Worcester Spectrum.
No, isn't that the,
The Philadelphia Spectrum,
yeah.
which is closed.
Yeah.
Yep.
Kiss played one of their last makeup shows there. Before they
Who?
put the makeup on. Kiss?
Before
Who
they
are
broke up?
Yeah. Huh?
Who are they?
Yeah, funny. Funny business. What, do you work for the TNG?
No, that guy is in Kiss.
I don't know. All jokes aside, I thought that guy was fucking mad cool. Like crazy, but like, I don't know. Like,
So
that's what made it
well,
awesome.
why don't we talk just a little bit about that? I know we're kind of veering off a little bit, but that's pretty much par of the course for us. So, Dynamo, myself, Andy Christ, and also Ethan McGloofabits were interviewed today from a local reporter about Halloween and the impact that it has now, sort of with all this real life grisly stuff going on with terrorists and beheadings and all this stuff. So it was a little serious, a little political as well, but it was an interesting discussion for sure. Do you want to talk about how that came together, Dynamo?
He just contacted me, and what was funny is that he pretty much asked me if I knew 2 of the Deadites under their secret identities.
Yeah.
And I was like, no. But I was like, I'm bringing Johnny Wolfenstein because otherwise you're not going to have a fucking interview with those 3 people in the same place. You're going to have an Abbott and Costello like shtick. So, yeah, it was cool. It was interesting because on this show, I often talk about black tights, black trunks, and how this show is not that necessarily.
People have no idea what you mean.
Yeah, well, fuck them. The ones who do, like Jeff Jarrett says, the ones who do. No winners half the battle or some
Okay.
crazy fucking Jeff Jarrett stuff. But yeah, I feel like, like this show is fun and it's built to be fun. So if we end up talking about, ISIS and the effect that it has on the world of horror, we've made a terrible mistake. But
Yeah.
it was nice to show, and it, depending on how the interview comes out, and I've read some of this guy's stuff, and I'm sure it's going to come out fucking terrific, that while we are dummies, when it is somehow tangentially related to horror, we are smart. Like, so if you can like draw the line from any one subject to horror, we know what we're talking about. And Wolfie sounded really, really intelligent, and Antichrist sounded really, really intelligent, and Ethan McGloofabitz and I look like two like Alzheimer's patients that just wandered in and sat down. But
I like pudding.
Yeah, it was cool. It was very, very good.
So that should be out. I believe it's going to be on this coming
paper.
Sunday. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it in the Sunday paper?
I guess that's expensive.
Oh, Jesus.
So
Yeah.
it seemed like a. I don't get.
Does this pudding come with a spoon?
What time's bingo?
I need a spoon for my pudding.
Jesus Christ. So that should be interesting. So keep your eyes on that, and I'm sure we'll post that if it's available online somewhere. But it was interesting for sure, and we did things got a little bit goofy as well.
Sure,
And,
for sure.
Yeah, we trying on wigs and masks and hats and 70s detective kits.
Wow, you guys were just having a ball.
Yeah.
I don't think we're allowed in a costume outlet anymore.
No, probably not.
No,
We got outlet.
MonsterZero and I got kicked out of the one in Leominster, so for dancing with masks on.
That's right.
Yeah,
Yes.
may or may not been dancing sexy with masks.
Yeah. Erotic dancing.
Yeah,
Jesus.
Erotic dancing with a devil
'cause
mask.
dirty dancing. Nobody puts MonsterZero in the corner.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah.
I had the time
I
of my
can't
life.
remember what Jason Voorhees was talking about. And then MonsterZero runs at me, and I lift him up on my head.
Yes. I had the time of my life.
Like Ryan Gosling in that movie I've never seen.
Wow, that was awesome.
Top 5.
Top 5
five
podcast. Yeah.
Stop. I'm putting a ban on bringing that up.
A
Yeah.
moratorium.
That's it. You guys are starting to sound like cocks.
Starting
What,
to.
what does a cock sound like? Because that's awfully scary.
Jesus
If
Christ.
yours sounds like that, you're doing
I always
something
figured they're
wrong.
like giraffes. They don't make any noise. They're just there with their long fucking necks, you know?
Yeah, no, we can't talk about that anymore. Not only is it absurd, it happened. It's absurd. You guys are like, like the Ivan Koloffs of Trick or Treat Radio. You'll be talking about
my
that till you're
God.
like fucking 60.
Yeah.
It'll be that and like I was the fastest sperm.
Hey.
So one other
The win's a
thing,
win.
one thing I wanted to talk about is we've had a ton of new listeners lately. I think it's probably mostly attributed to that whole Entertainment Weekly business, which
can't talk about
we keep mentioning, and we have a moratorium on.
No, you can say that it exists. You just can't, hold the title belt up in the air and say top 10 podcast.
Well,
No, it's top 5. It's
Top
even
5.
better.
What the fuck you read?
Yeah.
So for those who, you guys are probably sick of hearing this, but we did get picked on Entertainment Weekly on the community website as one of the top 5 essential podcasts for horror fans, which is pretty outstanding. So, but we definitely have had an influx of new listeners, and I just wanted to go over some of the basics, some of the stuff we don't talk about all the time because everyone out there probably gets sick of hearing it. So we don't talk about it every single episode. But the things are, we want, and Dynamo, I know we talked about this a little bit earlier, but the big thing is we do this because we love it, right? I mean,
Yes.
otherwise, why do it? Because we sit in a room and yell at each other for about 3.5 hours a fucking week. So we obviously do this, and seriously, we're all good friends for the most part. After some episodes, I'm not so sure, but
Gandalf.
but we've had this chemistry for upwards of like 20 years now, which is ridiculous.
close.
That's
and
crazy.
and we just do it. We have fun with it. We never really expected much out of it. We just wanted to get it out there, and like to brag a little bit, we are now on 167 episodes in a row. We have not missed releasing an episode on a Friday, all brand new episodes. And obviously there's some other podcasts out there. OTC has a fantastic record, and obviously Bill was laid up with a back issue, but they still put out new content, which is fucking amazing that they just hit 400 last week.
That's my dad's.
That's
Yep.
crazy.
So, and they've been able to do that, but they're an outlier. Not many podcasts do
I
that.
think they're pretty honest. Oh, so I stole my stick back from Michael
Yeah.
Ravenshadow for a second.
But not many podcasts have hit that release cadence. A lot of times people take like a week off, or because they can't coordinate it, or a few days lapse and then an episode doesn't come out or whatever. But as we've talked about long ago, Ravenshadow, what are the 3 things in life you can count on?
Death, taxes, and Trick or Treat Radio every Friday morning.
Yeah, so, we're humble guys. No, we're not. We are bragging at this point in time. But we put out an episode every single Friday, and we've had a lot of people lately who have been really fucking incredible about, like, I think we're going to dub him the historian. We do have a Trick or Treat Radio historian now with our buddy Nick. Nicholas has been, like, going through the archives. Would you guys say that that's accurate?
Nick,
Yeah.
Your mic's not on.
No, it can't be.
Yeah, you're not on, dude.
Break it. Like, wow, when did I do that?
There you go.
I don't like. I'm really getting bad. I don't
Yeah.
remember touching that. He's gonna get
Famous last words.
Ossifer.
have you seen this boy? I don't remember touching that.
He's gonna get like an executive producer credit or something like on the best of thing because
Definitely
Yeah,
historian.
well, he's definitely our official historian of Trick or Treat Radio.
Yeah, we might have to, get a panel. We'll have to elect a panel. But
isn't that the
yeah.
guy who sings for Tainted Quill? Historian.
that's a fucking reach for a pun that
Yeah.
only 3 people are going to get.
It was like fucking OJ's defense team.
Yeah,
You know-
Nicholas has been doing he's been running the gamut on this show. He's been listening to every show in a row for like the past
few weeks, months.
Yeah, maybe a couple of months.
But and the thing is, and it's through our networking and having other shows, being involved with other podcasts, having them on our show, being on their show, and it's been awesome because we have some really fucking
Much smarter
dedicated,
shows.
some dedicated listeners who love tuning into what we do.
It's awesome.
Which is fucking crazy to me still. So
It is crazy. I mean, we're a bunch of morons.
I don't want to get too long-winded with this, but I do want to. I appreciate everyone out there. We have like Jeremy who's been posting a ton this week. We heard from another Jeremy last week, first-time caller. So we have a ton of new people that are just coming into the fold.
That dude made me
and a ton
cry
of
while I
people
was
named
taking
Jeremy
notes.
too, by the way.
Yeah, it's a good name.
Yeah, it's a bad name.
Stupid fucking name, Jeremy.
Shut up! You're talking shit about our listeners.
What's
So
happening? Can we start over?
maybe I might want to redo this
Let's
one.
go to Factory of Terror.
Nah, Jeremy's a good name. I'm gonna name my son Jeremy.
You're not
You're
going to have a
welcome.
son.
I don't
So-
care how long he lives in the back of
Jesus
your van,
Christ! I
that's
can't
not
even
your
get
kid.
through this.
Who's next, Johnny? Who's on the show?
All right, let him talk.
So the thing I want to do is I want people, if you like what we're doing, tell 5 people. Even tell one person, tell one other person, because we want to take advantage of this opportunity that we have, where we had this opportunity where we got picked on Entertainment Weekly's website as one of the top 5 essential horror podcasts. Fucking ridiculous. If you like what we do, we've had people give us donations and buy stuff from us, which is fucking great, and keep that up because that helps pay for the show because this shit ain't cheap. But aside from that, if you don't have anything to give, tell 5 people about it. Tell 3 people. Tell 10 people about it. Share it on social media. Let's get the word out there. Let's make it a fucking, like, now we have this like little battalion. Let's make it a fucking army.
Let's fucking spread the virus.
Yes,
You can't contain us.
the TOTR virus.
Let's make it an epidemic.
Johnny, this is a really good opportunity, I think, to bring back the old-fashioned like chain letter.
Yes.
Start threatening people's safety if they're not listening.
Hey,
The house will fall on your grandma if you don't send this to 12 people.
Oh, shit.
whatever
I will
it takes.
I will kill you if you don't listen to this show.
Whatever it takes. If you folks want to go ahead and threaten other people, we didn't tell you to do it.
We don't
But if you
advocate
do
it, but
want to
if you
hold
do
them
it,
at knife point or gun point and tell them to listen,
8x10s are coming your way. Just
yeah,
saying.
yeah, 8x10s are flowing.
Yeah, oh my lord.
That's a fair trade.
Yeah, let them.
You turn your
Tell-
mic off again, you idiot.
Yeah, tell 2 friends, and they tell 2 friends, and so on, and so on, and so on.
Yeah, so, and also, if you guys also like what we're doing, go ahead and rate us on iTunes or wherever you're listening to us. Give us a 5-star review. That helps us for the people who don't know about us and helps us get get placement in like new and noteworthy and hot podcasts or whatever. So we want to capitalize on this. We don't want this to end right here because we've had probably more listens in the last week than we've had in the last year. Like for any week in the last year, I should say. So I just want to continue to capitalize on this, and let's see what we can do.
Yeah.
You guys have anything to add?
Yeah, it's been a very strong week.
Yes.
Good one.
Yeah,
Good
thank-
one.
thank
Good
you.
one.
So I-
Yep.
the
Top
words a
five.
little
Top
bit.
5 podcast.
Last time I asked you for...
Who's next, John?
Said you're starting to sound like buffoons. More.
Starting?
Yeah, more so.
Do you have anything to add to that, Dynamo?
No, I think you were very eloquent.
All right.
Yeah, you were thorough. You got it through.
So everyone, tell your friends, tell your family, tell your enemies about Trick or Treat Radio. Hold them at knife point, gun point, shotgun. No, we're getting too political
I thought you were gonna say hold them at Shakma.
Threaten to throw your newborn child over the edge of a high scaffolding bridge.
What's one of the worst movies we've reviewed?
Dear God, no.
Threaten to make them watch Dear God No.
Felt made
Felt
Dear God No look like Casablanca.
the Nightmare.
Maybe to you, man. Dear God, no, just ripped me apart.
So
Did you see Felt? Were you not here? I feel like.
no, he's there.
I saw it.
Yeah. So why was that not the worst?
So threaten him with a bad movie.
Because
Leprechaun
Dear God knows
Origins, maybe.
Oh.
I would watch Leprechaun Origins all day long, as opposed to watching Felt a part of.
All right, so just get it out there. Help us get the word because we can't do it ourselves. So spread the word for us. Spread the virus, as Michael Ravenshadow would say. Make it an epidemic.
Dance epidemic tonight.
So that's all I'm going to say about that. Let's go ahead. You know what? Let's get into what we're going to talk about tonight. We haven't talked about that yet.
Or introductions.
And that, too. We have 2 films that we're going to review tonight. We're bringing back the Creature Double Feature. We're going to start off with our featured review of Hellions, the latest flick from Bruce McDonald, the director of Pontypool, which is one of the best movies in the past 10 years, I would say.
Absolutely.
At least horror.
Absolutely.
Fucking phenomenal. Have you seen it, Ravenshadow?
It's on my queue.
Okay. You
And
should
more
watch it.
specifically, one of the best zombie films to come out in the last 10 years.
Yeah, I will definitely agree with that. Maybe not best films, but zombie films for sure.
Yeah,
I think it's a pretty great
It's
film.
It is, yeah.
phenomenal.
So we're gonna review his latest flick. That's up first. It's called Hellions, and then later on in the show, we're gonna review the '80s slasher throwback Lost After Dark. So we're gonna talk about that, and I'm sure there's gonna be an argument or two. We're gonna have some voicemail later on from some of our awesome listeners.
It's fucking hot in here, Johnny.
Well, it's not my fault. It's fucking 70 degrees outside today.
Yeah, I know. I had already decided I was dressing for fall and won't relent, even though it's really hot out.
No, it's not your fault that it's 70 degrees outside. It's just your fault that it's 90 degrees in here.
Take your shirt off.
Okay.
Not you.
Oh no! No, we have a war.
Are you out of your
What are you
fucking
doing?
mind? Are you really doing that?
Remember last time?
You sure you want to rethink that?
Yeah, I like fucking baloney things.
I'm gonna take a picture and you're gonna get in trouble.
Yeah, last time you did that, you got in trouble.
Please,
have
all I have to
bologna
do is just
gumdrops.
breathe wrong and I'm in trouble.
He's got bologna gumdrops for nipples.
Fucking believable.
Plus, what nobody knows is that as soon as he did that, he turned around and Jack Torrance just came at me.
You don't even know, Jenny.
Oh Jesus! Don't even show
Jenny,
her the fucking cannibal
Unfucking
holocaust.
believable. Los, you're lucky you're on the phone there, bud.
Yeah.
Factory of Terror. This will fucking scare the shit out of you.
Can you guys just bring him in just like this with his shirt off?
Yeah, we'll have him threaten them, at the end.
Jiminy crickets. Buy a ticket. Why? Otherwise.
Wait, listen to Trick or Treat Radio, or else you're gonna have to fucking look at this.
Why
Jesus
are your nipples hard all the time?
Hold your
Nipples alone.
people. People need to hold their friends at nipple point.
Jiminy crickets.
Will that work in Fall River?
I'm sure it will.
Yeah, Nickelodeon.
Jesus Christ.
Fucking gravy boat.
Oh, we got GSBH is hanging out in the chat room. He says, "What you drinking, Ravenshadow?"
What do you got? I got a little in the season. Jenny is me, Lunda Oofna Papa. Harvest Shanty.
It comes from Lupaland.
Yeah, it's like fucking
Lupin
Roughhausen. It's like a German beer. I don't know what the fuck it is. Pumpkin and shit. Great pumpkin ale. And then my standard 5'67". Narragansett tall boy. 6 of them.
Leinenhügel.
Yeah.
Big schnell.
Get in liner.
Sieg heil.
Are you glad you asked, GSBH?
Gonna peel back the curtain some more.
Rocky says, I wouldn't say I enjoy tuning in, but Ravenshadow won't sell me weed if I don't.
Yo, what you need, Rock? What you need?
Jethronomicon says, now if you could make the list at Rue Morgue, I might be impressed. Maybe.
Fuck you, Jeffrey.
Go fuck yourself.
I'm most happy ever.
I've already made it into Rue Morgue. I don't need to do that again.
How'd you do that?
Oh, listen to you.
Exactly. Yes, it's bragging rights.
How did you make it in there?
Well, I'm not even counting the fact that my letter got published in Rue Morgue. I'm not even counting that. But no, when I did Blood Pigs, it got voted by the readers of the glorious film of 2010 of Rue Morgue magazine.
No,
That's
it
right.
did not.
It did
It
so.
did. It did. Yeah, it definitely did.
The
I remember
best
that.
film, like not.
No,
No, not
glorious.
best. Glorious.
Glorious.
Not best.
Yeah, whoa.
Yeah, let's not overstep our bounds here, man. No.
You guys,
glorious film.
You guys know the dialogue.
Yeah, you do.
It was voted the goriest film of 2010 by the readers of Rue Morgue magazine.
I'm not the fucking Red Cross, and I'm no nurse.
God damn right.
It's not a problem at all. I got plenty of noodles over there.
Over there.
Over there.
Over there.
That's the award-winning dialogue
Man,
right
every
there.
time I hear that, that just sends a chill right up my spine.
You're not alone.
Yeah.
Several other folks.
Over there.
Over there. Were you,
there,
did you have
yeah.
your picture in it?
Yeah, here.
I hear you.
Was there a picture of you in Rue Morgue from the film?
No, there was no stills used at all
No,
for. I know, it kind of sucks.
They didn't use the picture of you that looks like educated PETA dressed as Blade.
No, I wish they did. I did make it on the DVD cover.
Yeah, you did, yeah.
I
yeah,
did.
for sure.
On the American and the Japanese release, actually.
The Japanese one's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Reservoir Dog says Dynamo took his winter moo out of storage too soon.
It's true.
Is that true? Do you wear moo-moos in the winter?
And then the summer.
In the summer. So that's what's going on. We got to introduce some people because everyone.
Can't we just talk to Jenny and Los Cretan and? go
Yeah,
home?
yeah, we can do that for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Oh, Dynamo.
Yeah, man.
You were gonna clear something up. You figured out the last.
You ready?
Yeah.
I'm gonna give everybody 1 minute to close their eyes and try to remember what the lost Trick or Treat radio film is.
All right.
With the Lost.
And what's funny is I didn't remember it, but I'm surprised with all the talk of this particular film.
So what he's referring to is we've come up with these ridiculous films that we would like to see made.
Oh, I see
spoofs.
what you mean.
Like we have Hobbit with a shotgun. We have Sith Sense. Wolf Cop of Wall
Both
Street.
of which were written to be Deadites webisodes.
Yes.
So
there's one other one that we always forgot about, and apparently Dynamo remembers. I don't remember.
I didn't remember.
Oh.
I went through to find. I happened to listen to.
Oh.
that
That's what we have
episode.
Nicholas for, man.
Yeah.
What are you
Eventually,
doing
if
it for?
we'd asked him, he would have remembered.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Cannibal Run.
Oh,
How can we forget that? You
That's
just
a
had
fucking
your,
movie.
You just had your fucking Cannibal Run.
I did.
Jesus Christ, you were just posting about that. How do
Man,
we
you
forget?
got to be careful.
Yeah, someone's gonna steal that shit.
Well, not just that. S. Wiley is like fucking furious at you for your floppy ways about that Cannibal movie.
I wasn't flopping or flipping or anything.
I don't know.
He's flopping around like a fish.
That's her
Flip,
opinion.
flower, and fliff.
I'm indifferent on the subject.
All right, let's go ahead and I'm glad we found that out, Dynamo. Let me go ahead and write that down just so we can keep track of that. Cannibal Run. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and introduce everyone else. We've introduced our guests, and then we'll shoot the shit with them a little bit more before we have to review a film. So I am Johnny Wolfenstein, the pencil pusher and producer of media for Trick or Treat Radio and the Deadites. We have the immortal gunslinger, the singer and lyricist for the Deadites. He's going to be a 70s detective for Halloween, Dynamo Mars.
I am a 70-year-old detective every time I can't find my car keys.
We also have the chain-smoking, hand-kissing, baby-shaking, hot pocket loving, comic book reading nerd, and official smoke machine for the Deadites, Michael Ravenshadow.
That's right, Johnny. Let me tell you this right now. I've been in rooms with CEOs and guys on parole, but there's nothing more important than what we're doing now.
What?
That's right. You know why?
Why? Doesn't make any sense.
It makes perfect sense. I diversify.
Well, you were on parole?
No, I've been in a room with guys. I've been in rooms with guys on parole.
Oh, you've been in a room with guys.
And so if you guys in the room, I'm not gonna say any names, but yeah, and CEOs basically diversify.
So hosts on the show.
Yeah.
We also have the vulgar guru of horror, cast member of Morbid Division Films, one-time contributor for Horror Hound magazine, and apparently he was in Rue Morgue once, MonsterZero.
But only once.
And it was only your nipple.
It was only my nipple. I have taken pictures of my nipples before.
You were joined.
What?
And I put them up on the wall.
What?
You know.
Is that front on or is it in profile?
Yeah, we're at the
Oh,
post
no,
office.
front on. Both, actually.
He's got a horrifying nipple profile.
They sound like nipple mugshots in this case.
Jesus fucking Christ.
You should see the nipple prints that I leave on, instead of fingerprints, I leave nipple prints.
So,
He
folks,
gets some nipple cuffs for his guy.
He lives a bit further away from me now, but for years, MonsterZero lived pretty much like around the corner from me. We were neighbors.
Yep.
And there's one day I walked over to drop off some DVDs for him,
And he was
I
wearing a
knocked
Bible
on the
costume.
door. No. No, I wish. I knocked on the door, and the door opened, and MonsterZero was buck-ass naked.
I didn't know you were coming.
It's true. I've actually seen that once before, which is the most horrifying thing I've
So
ever seen.
But here's what's funny about it. Despite his mutant legendary testicles, despite the fact that there was a naked, 40-year-old man in front of me, all I could burned into my memory like some Lovecraftian beast was his nipples. All I can remember. They look like pointy 45s made of it looks like you cut. So you took your favorite monkeys, Last Train to Clarksville 45, right, and took a very sharp X-Acto knife. You put the 45 down, right, over a piece of bologna, and then with the X-Acto knife, you cut the bologna in a perfect 45 hole thing, and then on top of that, you take another piece of bologna. You roll it into so it looks like small penis heads, right? And place it on top. And place it on top of the perfectly symmetrical 45 hole bologna.
You gotta check out the live show, folks. Really, you really need to see this.
Of all the people that I know, of
all the nipples I've seen,
of all the people on this panel who I'd like to see naked, MonsterZero was not on that short list.
Jesus Christ.
I'm looking forward to your 45-page bologna craft manual.
I want to get some notes off of that.
I did it under the
notes.
I did
any fucking notes.
I did it under the pen name of Oscar Myers's. MonsterZero's nipples have a first name. GROSS.
Oh, folks.
Oh, man. Rich, I almost hesitate to ask if we should post a picture.
No way. No, watch the fucking live show. No, do not post a picture because you know what?
A profile shot of his bologna gumdrop nipples.
Maybe put one of those placards underneath that have the name and serial number underneath it.
Jesus Christ.
So, on happier news, you being in Rue Morgue,
yes,
puts you in the company of other Trick or Treat Radio luminaries as Myra, the Rev,
nothing wrong with that,
and Belial Lovett.
Yeah,
hey.
That's right.
Belial's in it. I love it.
Not the Deadites.
I know, right?
They didn't,
I know. Go figure that one.
They
out.
didn't want to review us.
They didn't want to review our EP. It's too
Fuck
short.
them.
So that's
It's
what's
too short, but they reviewed a single the other
I
day.
know.
I'm
That's
on
what
to you, Canada.
That's what's going on. We have a jam-packed show. We have a jam-packed panel, and we have just a few more minutes with Los Cretin before he has to go scare the fuck out of some people, I think.
Nice.
So let's chat some more. So Los Cretin, did I hope I'm not like going dark into the deep recesses here, but I saw something about Stan Winston School. Did you attend Stan Winston, or are you just a big fan?
I'm a big fan doing the whole online stuff. So
Yeah.
I did the whole register thing, and it's actually a really great program if you don't have those like 3-4 months to go through effect school.
Yeah.
You know, you can take it by time and schedule real live like webinars, and you get to work along people like Tim Gore, that's an amazing painter.
Mm-hmm.
Then you get other guys that worked on Aliens, and like the best one I ever had was this plastic bag monster thing, and it was one of the guys that did the original Species, and they talk about it and they're like, I was trying to figure out an inspiration how to make these bags move, and basically build these awesome amazing creatures out of plastic bags. And he describes how he went up to his loft and talks about, I needed some inspiration, so he puts his inspiration into a bag because he didn't want his inspiration into the air. and that's how they made all the cool pods and Species. It's crazy.
Interesting. That is pretty crazy. So that's pretty awesome, though. Just, like, even if you're not learning directly from Stan, like, at least people he's worked with or people he's taught, like, that's pretty fucking cool. I've heard some really good things about his school.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome seeing all the people that you get, like, kind of starstruck, talking to these people, like, for the first time, like, I remember that movie you did over there, and the way you did the Velociraptors, or how you did the big T-Rex, or how Predator came out. You hear the little things about how the paint job came to be because some guy dropped some coffee on something.
That's typically what Ravenshadow does when you're like, look, I made something. It's a coffee spill, Ravenshadow.
No, it's hot.
Hot.
He wouldn't make coffee. He wouldn't spill coffee. He doesn't drink coffee. He drinks beer. We know he wouldn't spill that.
And coffee.
Yeah, beer and coffee.
That's all I ever eat.
So that's pretty fucking cool, though. Like, what's some of your favorite stuff to do as far as like special effects go? Do you make the molds? Do you like doing more makeup and painting, or like do you have a specialty?
I really like animatronic and set design.
Nice.
I'm really good mechanically inclined, so I know how the stuff moves. And what sucks about being in the hunt world is you can't be as creative. Your materials kind of have to be all flame retardant.
Yeah.
Like that's the only thing that sucks. So it's just like, I can do this or this or a paper mache, and we're like, it's gonna light up on fire and burn the whole fucking place down.
Yeah, you kind of don't want to do that because you need a paycheck the next day, right?
Though that would be scary.
It would be.
Then
One night only show.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
I've seen like the changes too. Like it's over the last, I guess, 8 years. Every 2 years, there's been a big change in the hunt world where it's been rules and regulations where the safest building you ever go into is a haunted house instead of like your local city building or school or movie theater, just because of the security system and the alarm system that's involved.
That's pretty crazy.
I don't know how it is now, but I can tell you that when I was more involved, when I worked at them, I would say tied for a first favorite place, safest place are rock clubs.
Unless Great White's playing.
Yeah, in the wake, in the wake of Great White, basically causing the September 11th of live performances.
Yeah.
Totally changing the Deadites setup and kind of neutering us for a while with all like the fire play and stuff we had. The fire marshal was in that rock club every single week at least once, and if there was a big show, or if the band that breathed fire was on, like the fire marshal was fucking there, like all the time.
Well, and I mean, I'm not as involved in kind of the serious parts of it, the parts that aren't just artsy-fartsy fun, but I feel like some of it, too, is that haunted houses essentially are meant to disorient you. It's a maze that you go into intentionally, so we have to be extra on top of things because people can't get out.
It's sort of that whole, we talked about this a little bit in the interview we did with the local paper, escapism, right? Like when you go into this haunted house, you're basically transported into a horror movie, right? And it's it kind of takes you out of it when you see fire escape signs.
I know, right?
And things like that. So,
like the club we played at Rhode Island where the fire doors were locked. That's no escapism.
Yes.
That you're fucking stuck here, Sism.
Especially if you're supposed to be like through hell and you see a big giant fire sign saying, you know,
Well, that's accurate,
exit.
right?
If you want to survive.
Yeah.
This way to heaven.
Unless Michael Ravenshadow got a date and it froze over.
Hey! One time that happened.
So no, that's pretty fucking cool though. Like I haven't had a chance to go to Factory of Terror before. Typically, October is the craziest month for all of us collectively.
Yes.
But I'm hoping maybe we can make it this sometime this year. It'd be awesome to
Yeah,
be
for
able
sure.
to head down.
Ooh, how about 23rd?
Yeah, I don't got anything to do that day.
Oh yeah, what's going on the 23rd?
Nothing.
What?
Hey, let's go tomorrow.
Yeah.
Hey, you guys have a lunchtime? Do you have like a lunch show?
A matinee.
Matinee.
Is it like,
What time does it open Sunday morning?
They have a brunch special.
you guys are missing out. You guys can diversify. We're going like a Tuesday morning.
Right? They'd be like,
After
there's
the
nothing
view.
but zombies in there. They're all just waking up.
Yeah, exactly.
First shift coming in.
So, Los, what is your favorite character? Do you have like one character that you play for a season, or do you mix it up, like given from a night to night basis?
Most nights I'm your typical handyman that just try to use his drill on that exit sign that came off and then use it on people's faces.
Nice.
And it's like I won't wear any makeup and I'll walk through the haunt through a corner and people still freak out.
Yeah,
I'm just playing to help, you know.
absolutely. How about you, Jenny?
Like a favorite character to play?
Yeah.
Probably I do a creepy clown. Her name's Amber Alert.
Very
That's great.
good.
Yeah.
That's a fun one.
Radio show just got it.
Very.
That's a real sad thing.
File that on the MonsterZero Sun. Oh,
You gotta find Jeremy.
I'm bringing something home for my son. Why is it birthday? No, he's just on the news. Amber Alert.
Oh, that's funny.
That's cute.
Yeah, no, clowns are pretty classic, and you can get away with anything at all. I mean, you can say the most vile, horrible stuff to people. You can insult people's grandma waiting in line, and everyone just laughs it off because you're a creepy clown. So it's a good way to take out your aggression on everyone that's there. Just get real angry.
Yeah, absolutely. MZ over here was a clown for a little while too.
Yes.
What was your clown name?
Moulin Stooge. I was the evil French clown.
Oui, oui.
Oh, oui, oui.
Wow, you should have just fucking come off around the corner with your shirt off. Welcome to Nickelodeon. On tonight's Tales from the Tits.
That's amazing. So I think we need to head to our first movie review very shortly, but I want to go ahead and Los, if you have anything else you want to plug, if you want to talk about anything that you haven't had a chance to do, go ahead and use this platform and do it.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. I'd like to talk about our first thing that we have for the haunted house this year that's kind of, I think, revolutionary. And it's called Dare to Scare, and it's a mobile app.
Oh, cool.
So it's always been fun for people to go through a haunted house. Now we're giving people the option to actually activate animatronics and scares inside the haunted house while watching live video via your phone.
Oh, wow, that's cool.
That's pretty fucking crazy. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm checking this out right now.
I mean, if you guys have done haunting or anything like that, you know it's a lot of work. So
yeah.
this is all the fun with no work. You can just do it on your phone without having to put on makeup and dress up and pray that you don't get sued.
Sounds like date night.
Dare to Scare.
That's pretty cool. So I'm looking at one here. I don't know if I'm looking at a Dare to Scare by Dare to Scare Productions Entertainment.
That's the one.
That's the one. Okay, cool. So, and do other haunts use this, or is this exclusive to you guys?
Right now, it's all Factory Terror locations. We are going to... This is our first year opening it. We had a beta last year. But coming next season, it's going to be open to any other locations throughout the whole country.
Wow, that's awesome. That's a really fucking cool idea.
Fucking mint.
One of the fun things about it too is that the actors inside the haunt don't know where any of the triggers are, or any of the stuff that you set off. So you're just as likely to scare a monster as you are a person just walking through. It's the ones that we don't expect. So
That is.
And it's a variety of like animatronics, from spiders to like horns to big old knockers, just stuff that's really
That's not scary at all, my brother.
Ravenshadow just perked up.
Yeah.
You don't need animatronics for that.
Where's the knocker line?
Yeah.
In the Winnebago wing.
That sounds really cool though. So everyone should go check out Dare to Scare, especially if you're going to go to Factory of Terror, and you can try your hand at having an interactive haunting experience. That sounds really cool, and definitely cutting edge. I had never heard of that before. So, and especially for people who have done haunts before and MonsterZero now, it's a really cool concept.
Yeah.
So, all right, Los, what we're going to do is we're going to head to a break, but I know you had just a little bit of time to hang out with us. So what I'll do is before we head to the break, we will bid you a fond farewell. But are you guys going to be, Jenny and Los, are you guys going to be at Rock and Shock at all this year? I know that, Jenny, you had been there previous years and dressed up and getting people to go to Factory of Terror, but are you guys going to be there this year?
we will actually. Factory of Terror sponsors Rock and Shock. We are
Nice.
one of the main sponsors. I'm not sure if we are the main sponsor, but we will be there all 3 days.
Nice.
We're going to have flyers, and probably the last couple of years we had like coupons and stuff for discounts. So if you come find us, you can take a picture and get a coupon, save a couple dollars so you can buy a beer afterwards. Settle your nerves.
This lady that's sitting next to me is so good at her costume that she has, on 2 years in a row, walked right up to me at Rock and Shock.
Yeah.
And 1 year I was distracted by not how good her costume was. But, the year she was a zombie, she walked right up to me. This is, if you guys go back to early episodes, Jenny Isme is the lady who I told you the story that she was dressed as a zombie Vulcan. And
I was Zombie Spock, and you guys came up with
Right.
the idea on the show.
and she walked right up to me,
Oh, yeah.
used my real first name,
Yeah.
and I had no idea who she was. Zero. I was in love, but I didn't have any idea who she was. This lady knows her stuff, so it's definitely worth the price of admission just to go see what she's got going on down there.
Yeah, for sure. So before we head to a break, though, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about our friends over at XSplit.
XSplit!
And they provide the streaming software that you see on the live show every Wednesday night. So thank you to them, and go check them out if you're going to do your own live stream, or if you're into doing Let's Plays, Watch Us Dies, like our friends over at Haunting TV. Go ahead and give XSplit a look, and the link is right on our front page, trickortreatradio.com.
It's right there.
Boom. Also, if you guys purchase stuff on Amazon, one way that you can support the show, one of many, is by clicking on our Amazon link. Just go to trickortreatradio.com, find the Amazon picture, click on it, and everything you purchase in that session gets attributed to us. Michael Ravenshadow, it doesn't cost them any extra, but
It helps keep the lights on.
that's right. So, and the lights are getting pretty dim here in Castle Wolfenstein.
Really,
So
I can't see what my beer is.
So if you do already buy stuff on Amazon, just click on our link. It doesn't cost you extra at all.
Yeah, no one knows nothing. There's no private healthcare information breach.
What?
The government doesn't have to know about it.
Just don't fucking
No one
worry
has to
about
know
it.
about it.
But just fucking click the link.
Yeah, just click the link and it'll help us out. The other ways you can support the show, there's a few different ways now. We have the store, Trick or Treat Radio. Just go to trickortreatradio.com/store, or just go to trickortreatradio.com and click on the store link. I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. I'm clicking on this. Look at this. We got Deadites t-shirts.
Oh, shit.
We got premium content.
You already have that shirt. Don't buy it.
Well, I have it.
Oh, yeah.
I have all the shirts.
We should buy one.
We have the Big Scary Monster Hunts at Midnight EP. And if you want it signed, just I don't know if it's going to bring the value down, but if you want it signed, just, give us a note, say you want it signed, we'll sign it for you. And we also have digital download cards, and it doubles as a sticker. So you can get the download code, get the entire EP, and then you peel it off. Take that sticker, you slap it on your car, you slap it on
Your trapper keeper?
your trapper keeper. What are you doing, Ravenshadow?
I was slapping it.
little pain and pleasure.
Yeah, a little pain and pleasure.
Slap it on your toaster, you know?
Yeah, it'd probably melt, but that's a fire hazard.
And I keep
You
forgetting
get that factor of terror, fire? You don't want that.
And
I'll scare you.
I keep forgetting to add the buttons. I'll do that soon, though. We also have buttons, so you can go ahead and buy stuff, and then
We're
you
gonna
can
have
help us
another
out.
interview soon. I know that the first one sold like hotcakes, but
Yeah.
this one actually sounds good and things happen, and
Be
you
a
can hear what the
flapjack
people say.
special.
So
And in addition to that, lastly, you can donate to us. Once again, if you go on trickortreatradio.com on the front page, it's right underneath the Amazon link. There's a little donate button. We actually got another donation this past week from, I don't even know who this person is,
Wow.
me.
but they had given us money before, and it was the one that no one knew who it was. I'm not going to say a name, just, maybe they want to be anonymous. Just the initials are JK. I'll say that.
J.K. Rowling?
Yes. Shit. Cat's out of the bag now.
Yeah.
All right. Well, in her message, I guess it's a female. I guess I gave that away. So
Really?
in the message it says, "Would really like it if you could send a." That was it. It got cut off.
What
I don't
the
know what
fuck?
she wants.
Send help?
I don't know. Maybe.
Well, she
would
wants
really like
help.
it-
It's a little bit too late now.
If you stop doing what you do.
I can guarantee what it doesn't say. Wolfie, could you read that first part again, and I'll punch in the end.
Yeah. Let me read that one more time. It says, "Would really like it if you could send a."
8x10.
Oh my God, that'd be amazing. So thank you very much, JK. We appreciate it. And
Jesus Christ.
nope. No, it's a woman.
This seems to be the most popular way
Yeah.
of us making
People just want to give us money.
of,
We're
of
okay.
just trying to keep the lights on.
Yeah,
is
we're okay.
donations, not buying anything.
We're okay with that, seriously. But you guys can get something for your money.
Yes.
Yeah, it's because they're trying to pay for you guys' chromosome transplant.
The other thing, and this was brought up to us by our friend Wooberman, we have been toying with the idea of doing a Patreon. Are you guys familiar? Do you guys even fucking know what Patreon
Yeah,
is?
the fucking
Ravenshadow?
Patriot Act.
yeah.
Oh my God.
Tom
The
Brady.
New England Patriots.
Go Brady.
Free Ravenshadow.
3-0.
Oh wait,
got-
Patriot. Isn't that
Oh, jeez.
that liquor? That
That's
alcohol?
Patron.
Oh, okay.
Expecto Patronus.
Would you? That's a
course he
good
would
costume
know.
for you. Have you ever been Zatanna?
I haven't done that
That's a
one.
good costume for you.
I've seen some really good ones. There's a lot of competition on that one. A lot
Nah,
of
there's no
people
competition, kid.
Got that creamy peanut butter smoothness.
Well, I don't know what that is. I've read a lot of Zatanna, but I haven't that issue.
Holy.
It was an anal.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, we'll talk when we smoke later on.
Yeah.
right.
I am.
So
holy-
what's a Patreon?
I have never been more
All right.
uncomfortable in my whole entire
That's
life
weird.
right now.
All
I'm
right.
trying to figure, like,
Where's Aries?
yeah, it's bad. Get the ShamWow, Eric. Yeah.
All right, so Patreon, what it is, there's some other podcasts that use it, especially our friends over at. Oh no, that's why. Okay, never mind. I thought I did actually create a Patreon, but we just haven't launched it yet. I've just been waiting because we need to figure out. So think of Kickstarter, right? You guys know Kickstarter. You understand what that is?
I'm
Yes.
aware that
Oh my
exists.
God.
Don't just say yes.
So, okay, you give money towards the completion of a project. Once they've hit that milestone, the money gets given to, the creators so they can go ahead and create their thing and give it back to the people, okay?
Yep.
Now, Patreon is a monthly ongoing thing. So people sign up and they give you, let's say, $5 a month. Each month, it takes $5 out of their account and gives it to us. And then in return, we have to give them something for their donation. So if they give us $5 and they do it for a year, they're going to end up giving us $60 for a year. So we have to give them something back for their value,
Like entertainment?
Well, we're already giving that, but we need to give more entertainment.
Well, they're fucking greedy bastards. How much fucking more? We had 3 hours of content.
Christ.
Fuck them.
That's our fucking
Give us
listener.
nipples.
Oh, Los is still here.
8x10s. 8x10s of nipples.
How much you got, Los?
Jesus Christ.
Oh.
Oh, man.
By the way, I am just pretending. I have not been okay since the peanut butter thing. Can't even breathe. It's getting hot in here.
It is. So, all right. Well, I think that's it. But what I do want is I want to get some feedback. So if you guys out there want to see a Patreon, if you would actually give money towards a patron, let us know. And also, if you have suggestions for some of the rewards, please let us know so that we can, put that together. We want to give you value for your money. So I know you guys like giving us stuff for free, giving us money for free. But if we can give you something, then we will. So,
which, by the way, just giving us the money is really the only product deadline we can keep up with. If we don't have to make something, I guarantee you it will come out on time.
So I think that's pretty much going to wrap it up. I know we have a lot of new listeners out there. So the ways you can get in touch with us, podcast@trickortreatradio.com. That's our email. Send us voice memos, send us emails, send us photos, send us videos, whatever you want. Send it our way. We'll read it on the air. We'll play it on air, whatever. We would love to get some feedback from some of the new listeners out there, as we have been lately. So keep that up. And also, you can go ahead and use the SpeakPipe app on our website. Just go to trickortreatradio.com and then click on the contact button, and then it'll bring you to leave a voicemail. And you can go ahead and click that. Leave us a voicemail through the website. You can also tweet at us at the Deadites. Go ahead and just tweet at us. If you listen to the show and you want to give us feedback as you listen, just tweet it at the Deadites. It's the easiest way to do it, 140 characters at a time. Also, we're on Instagram at the Deadites. We haven't been super, super busy on Instagram, but we typically post the movies that we're going to review and get a little conversation going about the films that we're reviewing. And then finally, the most important part, the linchpin of this all, is the Trick or Treat Radio Facebook group, otherwise known as the Fib, Michael Ravenshadow. So you listen to the episode, you listen to three and a half hours.
Oh, my Lord.
The episode ends. You're wondering, what the fuck am I going to do with my life until the next episode comes out?
I'm fucking lost. You know what I mean? I'm bumping into the walls. I don't even know what I'm doing, but thank God there's the Fib, because you know why? When the show ends, the conversation just begins.
That's right. So head on over to the Trick or Treat Radio Facebook group. Join in the conversation. We have Jenny Isme there. We got Los Cretin hanging out. We got all of us. It's the place to be. So that's it. I'm fucking done. We need to go to a commercial break.
Yes. Much deserved.
Because Ravenshadow.
Because it's 105.
Ravenshadow needs to smoke. And is this right? You have to smoke as well, Jenny?
Yeah.
Oh,
She's
so
shame on you.
Leave her fucking alone. Don't worry about what Jenny does. Worry about yourself, Johnny Nipples.
Shut the fuck up.
Dr. Nipples.
You leave my nipples out of this.
Dr. Nipples.
B-Nips.
B-Nips. All right.
Rufus and Ronaldo. MonsterZero's chest. It's the Titanic team-up you never knew you wanted.
Yeah.
All right, but before we go to the break, I want to thank Los Cretin for hanging out with us, man. It's been a pleasure, and we definitely look forward to seeing you at Rock and Shock and hanging out and, meeting in person. So thank you so much for joining us, my friend.
Oh, sorry.
Click.
Mute button wasn't working. Yeah, I'll try to see if I can stop by and bring you guys some bloody nipples or something.
It's good, yeah. We're full over here, though, Los. Thanks, though.
We have all the bloody nipples we can handle.
Yeah. Could offer you
You can
some.
hand them out. I don't know.
There we go. But no, thank you so much for joining us, Los, and we'll definitely have to catch up with you again soon. So we're going to head to a commercial break, and we will be back to discuss Hellions. Oh, Ravenshadow, before you take those headphones off. Creature double feature.
Yeah.
What do you do?
Oh, my Lord. I'm trying to fucking smoke. God damn it, Johnny.
I know. I try to keep you.
I mean, I would watch them both back to back. What you got to do is you want to, get some pumpkins. Get a little fairy tale costume. Lock the doors. Hope they don't have blasters. Go in the woods. Strap on. Can we smoke?
Do you love a scary story? Do you love to dance? The Big Scary Monster Haunts at Midnight is a collection of dark songs about sex, love, death, revenge, and the end of the world. Brought to you by the world's greatest monster hunting electroshock band, the Deadites.
Keep This is Matt Kennedy of Astron 6. You might know me as Manborg. You might know me as Father John Sullivan in Father's Day. But what's important right now is that you're listening to Trick or Treat Radio.
I'm Ruby Burble.
What's up, y'all? It's me, the Yeti. Telling all the ladies that they couldn't be more fine and that we should knock those boots like Frankenstein. When I want to get my nerd on, I go to Facebook and I go to the Trick or Treat Radio Facebook group. That's the place where I get to talk about all the hip new horror movies, all the cool comics,
Like comics.
RPGs, video games, you name it, we're talking about shit on there. And you could not be any cooler if you were the coolest kid in school. Be the first kid on your block to swing their cock over at the Trick or Treat Radio Facebook group. Just go to Facebook, search for Trick or Treat Radio, ask to join, and it's like Nerd Nirvana, baby, without the shotgun blast. This is the Yeti, signing out. See you at the Trick or Treat Radio Facebook group.
Follow us on Twitter at the Deadites, thedeadites.com, and trickortreatradio.com.
I can tell you I'm never coming back on this show. Especially now that I did that thing that you just made me do. Which I will be sending you an invoice for.
And we have returned on Trick or Treat Radio.
Yes.
Well, most of us have.
Yes.
The non-smokers.
It's true.
The ones who actually care about their health.
I don't know if that's true.
All right, maybe 33% of us care about our health.
Looks like we have Melissa hanging out in chat room.
Hey!
And she says, I say you all take your shirts off. No, you don't want that.
No, that's bad.
Yeah, that's a bad idea.
Some of us have inverted nipples, I'm sure, and I don't think anybody wants to see that.
Inverted? Who's got inverted nipples?
I don't know. I'm willing to bet Dynamo has inverted nipples.
Like the Gore Whore? Did you ever see the movie Gore Whore?
Yeah.
That girl's chest was myopic.
Yeah. It was pretty sad.
They were like cross-eyed. I've never seen anything quite like it.
Right?
In her defense, though, she was dead, so I guess that's probably the least of her troubles.
Well,
and also,
it's a riveting conversation.
I'm sorry. What'd you get so fucking uppity over there?
Yeah, no shit,
it's
man.
not very good radio.
What? All of a sudden, you got to have a stick up your ass? Jesus Christ!
That's not.
Well, I want to.
That's not how witches use those.
I want to make a point that I'm. I'm wearing my
Episode 165.
I'm wearing my Mad Hess Love David Hess pin today.
Nice.
Because today is the 4th anniversary of the death of David Hess. And yeah, that sucked. That royally blew, man. And I miss David Hess every day. I really do. The guy was a class act and just an amazing person. Seriously an amazing person. And just want to say I love the man and hope wherever he is, he's assaulting some chick.
You asshole. You had this like fucking nice thing.
I know, Jesus Christ.
And you ruined it.
What did I say?
Melissa has us on the big screen again.
Oh, Jesus. All right.
That's a bad idea.
Now we'll take our shirts off.
Can you?
Nope.
I think that you are like just you're so close. You're like it's like you're like a coconut
almost
to the
a
head away
human?
from evolved.
I can't let my true self out, man. You know that.
Well, no. The problem is you do let your true self out. Listen, I believe in you.
Thank you.
I also believe in Santa Claus and Bigfoot, so don't get too out of control. But
and I believe in you.
Isn't that a song? I believe in you. Isn't that?
I'm
Def
sure
Leppard?
there is somewhere. Could have been, it could be, Frank Zappa to
No,
fucking.
it's not Frank Zappa.
No.
So Reservoir Dog has a very important question.
Okay.
I heard the Deadites have a show on the 23rd.
Yeah.
I also heard the Tuck Dance may be performed live.
No.
No, because he won't even fucking be there,
Yeah.
Reservoir Dog.
Plus, it's not our show.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that live. Are you kidding? Jesus.
Maybe at Rock and Shock. Oh,
Yeah.
no, he's not going to be there either. Did you hear this? He's not going to be at Rock and Shock.
Yeah.
What? You have to be because the lady who you have to do this tuck dance for is coming to have her tuck dance delivered.
Yeah, but that's fine, but I'm not going to do it there.
Yeah, you are.
No, I'm not.
We'll get you a booth. All right. Well, we seriously we're really late, so we have to talk about this movie. First up, we're going to discuss the flick Hellions. Hellions is from 2015. It is 80 minutes long. It's a horror flick.
Here comes Smellions.
Smellions. Oh, by the way, we have MZ for the entire show tonight.
I'm surrounded by smoke. Oh, God.
You're welcome.
You chose that seat. I gave you the pick.
Fuck.
You
But
chose
not
that
at Rock
seat.
and Shock. He's gonna be here for the whole show.
Fuck.
Well, that was his good news, bad news situation. So,
How
Spilling around your things, do I?
what is going on that you're gonna miss Rocket Shock?
I'm gonna be in Philadelphia. It was a mistake on my part. I fucked up.
Well, listen, are they going to be in Philadelphia the week after, 2 weeks after Rock and Shock? They're still going to be in Philadelphia, right?
Who?
Whatever you're doing out there?
I'm visiting a friend.
Yeah,
Right.
she'll still
She's
be
not
there.
moving.
Yes.
Yeah, so fucking...
It's called #reschedule. You're not flying.
Yeah.
No, I'm taking a train.
Right. So that's not.
But
that's
the
easy
ticket's
to
already
reschedule.
paid for.
What
Yeah, but-
train?
I don't know.
all right, we'll give him shit later.
They'll
We got to
let you
get into
move
this.
us.
Yeah.
Union
gotta get into
Pacific?
Fuck all y'all.
So, Hellions is directed by Bruce McDonald, as we mentioned, was the director of Pontypool, which we liked quite a bit. And it is written by Pascal Trottier, this Canadian boy, apparently.
Isn't he that sad clown?
No. And the film stars Chloe Rose, Robert Patrick, Rossif Sutherland, Rachel Wilson, Luke Billick, and Peter Dacuna. Dacuna Matata.
The big Katuna.
And the synopsis we have here on IMDb goes something like this. A teenager must survive a Halloween night from hell when malevolent trick-or-treaters come knocking at her door. That's our door. Oh, shit. Are there malevolent
Don't let 'em in.
trick-or-treaters here?
Those are bad kids.
Yeah, they were bad kids. All right, so let's talk about Hellions. Great talk, guys. Yeah.
Treat.
So this was an interesting flick. So I was super excited about this because, as we talked about, Pontypool was probably one of the best zombie flicks in the last, maybe not 10 years, maybe 20 years. It was a really inventive, really cool original idea. It was based on a story, but still, like, film, it came across really, really well, and it was incredibly well done. So I've been long anticipating the follow-up flick from Bruce McDonald. He's done a lot of TV work, but this is his follow-up film. So there definitely were some expectations for me because I'm such a big fan of Pontypool. Mm-hmm. And the other cool thing I thought is this film took place during a blood moon. So that was like, something they talked about. There was going to be a blood moon. And we just had one.
Oh, shit.
Like,
yes, we
was
did.
it like a week or two ago?
Yeah.
So I just thought that was kind of relevant. They don't happen all that often. But I thought that was kind of cool. So what did you guys think of this flick?
I think Blood Moon, is the sub-name of the fourth subspecies movie. Isn't it Subspecies 4 Blood Moon?
With Radu. Radu.
No, there is a movie called Blood Moon. I don't know if it's from the subspecies.
It's from MonsterZero's hemorrhoids actor.
But it's...
More hemorrhoids. My
hemorrhoid brain for you.
No, there was a movie called Wolf Girl. It was that got the name changed to Blood Moon.
There is a Blood Moon that came out last year. Horror thriller western. That sounds cool.
Should watch that.
So, first off, I fucking love the score in this. Even though it got a bit repetitive at times, and I did hear I read a review, and someone said it sounded like Silent Night meets the Meow Mix.
Yeah.
Yes.
theme.
Meow, meow, meow,
Yes.
meow,
Yeah.
meow, meow.
But having said that, like I think that it was a really inventive score, and I think it helped this movie immensely. Not that this movie, needed much help from a direction standpoint, but the score went a long way to making this just the overall ambience and the just the cool vibe and atmosphere that it created. So for me, that was a big win. The other thing was just you can tell that this director has he's very adept at creating tension and making this a successful film. But I also don't know if he had a ton to work with.
Yeah,
as far as the script goes.
Yeah, watching this, man, I felt like there was just something missing. I could not put my finger on it. The score was good. The visuals were really, really good. Yeah. Very original, too, I might add. The performances were fairly decent. But there was just something about the whole film that just wasn't gluing it all together. I could not put my finger on it. And
for me, the thing was I watched it twice and I still don't know what it was about.
Yeah.
It just kind of didn't end. It didn't go anywhere. You kept waiting for that payoff moment, and I never got the payoff. I never figured out where they were going with it.
Yeah, I there was just something missing there. I could not.
So I totally agree, and we've reviewed some flicks that are
annoying me,
that are surreal for the sake of being surreal, and they don't really have a narrative. It's just this surrealistic film. But I don't feel this was that. I feel this was a film that did have a narrative, but I just can't tell if the narrative was muddied or if they intentionally left it wide open for you to, comprehend it in your own way. But either way, it's a little unsuccessful if it was one or the other. I just think that there could have been more as far as the plot goes.
I think maybe they were just trying to sell it on the strength of the visuals because I mean
they were very strong.
Oh, extraordinarily strong.
Yeah.
I don't know what they did. I don't know if they inverted the colors or what they did, but they did something really fucked up with the colors, and
I think
it looked dreamlike, nightmarish.
I think they cranked up the contrast on the day for night.
Yeah,
or
I mean, we're gonna
at least made it look like
it's
that.
possible.
We're probably gonna sound like idiots if we try to get too technical.
Yeah, I mean, there's pink sky, white leaves on the trees.
Well, it was the blood moon, so I'm sure the blood moon had something to do with it, but it definitely was more of a dream-like state as well, the surrealistic state. And a lot of times we didn't know if things were real or not, so I was led to believe that those were sort of not real, based on what was going on in the flick. So there definitely is a lot to this where I'm not really sure what's real, what's not. And I think that they intentionally did it that way so that you create your own narrative there, kind of the H.P. Lovecraft method of you create it, you create it in your head. I don't know that it was totally successful though. But as far as the look goes, this film looked fantastic, and I thought the the performance. Let me go ahead and get her name.
Performances were good. I thought the suspense was held up pretty well too.
Yeah,
I
think
mean
the performance by the lead, Chloe Rose. I thought she was quite good in this.
She was good. I thought the kids were quite effective.
Yeah, and
especially with what they were wearing. I thought those were fucking creepy looking costumes.
Great classic. What's the word I'm looking for? I can't think of it.
Well, the one thing I thought, the sack boy looked a little too close to Sam from Trick or Treat.
I knew you were going to bring that up, son of a bitch.
To be a coincidence, but so I wondered if that was if they intentionally did that.
I think between Sam and the what was it? The others? The movie with the guy from Felicity and Triple X and
Vin Diesel.
Nope, and Steven Tyler's kid there.
The Strangers.
Yeah, the Strangers.
Yeah.
Thanks. That had a sack headed fella in it too. So
yeah, and it's not I mean, Trick or Treat wasn't the first flick to use that.
Oh no way, Jason Voorhees.
Absolutely, but now when you see that, that whole like I don't even know what's that material. The burlap. Thank you, burlap sack.
Formaldehyde.
When you see that burlap sack, I immediately think of Sam, and maybe that's just because we love Trick or Treat. I'm not sure. Maybe other people don't get that, but for me, it was hard for me not to think about that when I was watching it.
I don't love Trick or Treat.
I saw that. I saw that too, but I immediately tried to erase that from my head. I was like, there's too much original stuff going on here.
Yeah,
I don't think that especially with McDonald being helming the film, who made Pontypool, which is one of the most original zombie films ever made. The man's got a brain in his head.
All Wolfie's trying to say is that whether it meant to or not, that looked like fucking Sam, and then and you can't say that it didn't look like Sam.
No, it did.
That's what fucking Sam looks like.
Yeah, but I tried to erase that from my head.
That's all.
Well, you did too much.
It didn't take me out of it. I'm just saying that's what I immediately thought of. We had mentioned the color palette in the dream sequences, and really cool, and even the main character, Chloe Rose. I'm trying to remember the character's name. Let me pull it up here. Dora. Thank you. Yeah. So Dora had
Vogel.
She had a different look in this dream-like state too. Like she had some different colored highlights in her hair, and her face was really washed out. And
right.
It's almost like there was two versions of her.
Yeah, there was like a semi-gothic type of Dora, and then there's the everyday girl.
Yeah, I don't even
Dora.
mean that though. I mean, but there was sort of this duality there. And maybe that's something I didn't necessarily pick up on. Is we have the angelic Dora, and we have the regular angsty teenage Dora.
Right, like she was like smoking butts in like the fishnets or whatever she was wearing.
You like that, didn't you?
I do. Taking it back to the Tana.
It wasn't so much the fishnets; it was the smoking. That's
exactly.
What
I do.
Oh, look at that.
She could have been wearing a burlap sack, and you would have been okay with it. As long as
I
she's
dated a
smoking.
couple girls who wore burlap sacks.
She could have been wearing a formaldehyde sack.
Yeah.
Formaldehyde.
Does it smell like chloroform?
If it helps, there's formaldehyde in cigarettes, so there you go.
Yeah, haven't been sick since Obama's been in office.
Yeah, it's because you're pickled. It's because you died in 1996 when I gave you a Dynamo driver.
That hurt a lot.
Melissa in the chat room says, "Love Trick or Treat, great Halloween movie, and yes, it did look like Sam. Thought the same thing.
She's fucking smart.
Wicked smart.
She is smart.
Well, I mean, it's not just the burlap sack either. It's the stature. It's is it a kid or a critter? Like, there's a lot of similarities.
Yeah, for sure, and it's creepy too. It's very evocative because you just don't know. Like, you're like, is that a kid? Is it a? Can we call them small people? What do we call them? Small people?
I like to call them minis.
Hobbits.
Minis. Hobbits. It could have been a hobbit, hobbit with a shotgun. Yeah. You just never know. But I think that was very effective. Regardless, all of the fucking kids were creepy.
Yeah, they
the
were.
doll face one, like they're all really creepy looking.
Yeah,
and by the way, hold on. I just fucking thought of something. With all due respect.
With all
disrespect, I guess, to this director, who I'm going to hold what I think about this movie. you're gonna have a fucking movie with a kid that looks like Sam and a bunch of fucking disheveled undead trick-or-treaters and try to tell me that this dude didn't see Trick or Treat.
Well, I'm not saying.
What happens,
yeah.
MonsterZero?
Oh, of course.
Like, that's two of the main iconic things. That's the two fucking things. Even if he didn't see it, that's the two things that are on every poster for Trick or Treat. Those fucking dead MonsterZero kids and the
the ones in the bus, right?
Yeah. Right.
Mm-hmm.
The boss, and Sam. So, again, Trick or Treat is very relevant to us because we watch it a lot, and it's like, we like it. But I mean, it is like what, 10 years old now?
No.
2007, I think.
So
right?
yeah, so it's 8 years old.
8 years old, right?
Getting there.
I mean, something that is referential to it is not. It's not like it came out yesterday, so it's not so. But
it's a thing.
Yeah, I refuse to believe that those two things are iconography. Is that how you say that?
Iconography?
Yeah, those two things are iconography that are specific to that film. That's my piece, and I'm sticking to it.
Okay, I'll believe that. I'll buy that. But McDonald made these guys just a bit more creepy.
Yeah, well, they were more sinister, but
Yeah.
I think that Trick or Treat is meant to be a much more lighthearted romp.
Yeah. You were sympathetic. You were sympathetic towards the kids chained up in the bus. with the masks on and everything.
But they were bad
I don't know
kids,
if I don't know if you were.
Well, not those kids. They were bad kids.
I don't know if
were-
Sam would be considered a sympathetic character or not. Probably not.
Yeah, he would.
I don't know.
Sam is like the cenabites. He's the
dun, 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 dun. You can't Cenabite me. Dun, 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 dun. I need to get that music queued up. Whatever song.
Let's go Cenabite. Let's go Cenabite. Cenabite sucks. Let's go Cenabite.
The Cenabites are going to go visit sick kids in the hospital.
Fucking CD face.
My
When you die of cancer, you'll see me. Fuck.
My Make-A-Wish. And here you go, kid. Here's your...
Cenobites.
Here's your...
Some kid loses 2 legs. We want the man who did this.
I'm rocking across the nation when you open the Malfix configuration.
Hustle, loyalty, trick or treat.
Hustle,
Lamech
loyalty,
configuration.
and respect, and I'll put some fish hooks in your neck.
Can you picture him done up in pinhead
All right,
makeup?
Johnny.
That's a fucking
All right,
movie.
Johnny, here's...
Jenny, can you get John Cena to order the Country of Terror?
I'll work on it.
All right, Johnny, here's your little Make-A-Wish. I have such exquisite pain. No
tears, please.
No.
But I have lymphoma.
We're all going to hell.
Butterball, will you cure me of this cancer?
It's a good suffering. You should say that.
It's genetic. It's not my fault. I was born into this.
Here, play with this.
Yeah. Thank you for coming to visit me. I'm going to tear your soul apart.
We'll put your name on a fucking I-beam. It'll all work out.
I love that Bruce McDonald's probably tuning in to hear the review of Hellions, and he has to sit through this bullshit.
Get that shit off.
The Cenobites.
That's a fucking faction, the John Cena bites. I don't fucking run them
I want to be the guy that gets to throw CDs out of his neck.
You need to learn the pathways of hustle, loyalty, and pain.
Hustle, loyalty, and pain. I've never heard the end of that song.
Here's little Johnny. He's very sick. Unbearable, isn't it? The suffering of strangers, the agony of friends. There is a secret song at the center of the universe, Joey. It's the sound like razors on your flesh.
Is Johnny Depp coming?
No.
You can't see me. My time is now. I'm the pinhead, and my time is now. The time is now. I don't live in Midian. I live in hell. My time is now.
I want a color. No, play with this box.
The time is now.
If somebody doesn't know who John Cena is, this is going to be a very hit and miss bit.
No, everyone knows who John Cena is.
Oh, fuck. The cenabites. It was my favorite cereal. Now it's my favorite faction. All right, enough of the cenabites.
Shut that shit off. Jesus Christ.
I dream of getting better one day. Human dreams, such fertile ground for suffering and torment.
Don't you know what terminal means? That's fucking weird.
Yeah.
Pinhead, no bedside manner. Nurse Pinhead.
Reservoir Doug says you guys might be going to hell, but I'll be holding the door open, inviting you guys in.
Thanks, brother. The chomp is here. Chompy chips.
Oh my god. John Cena bites. I gotta see if there's someone has done this.
We are collecting funds. We are collecting money for the Jimmy Fund. Feed our suffering.
The chop is here. Oh man! All right, should we get back to this review? Can we?
Yeah.
Can we get to the other one?
Wyatt family.
Whew, all right.
Let's go, Pinhead. Pinhead sucks. Let's go, Pinhead. Pinhead sucks.
So when you guys hear "Blood for Baby," are you gonna think of this movie from now on?
For all the times that we hear that day to
I know.
day.
Blood for Baby.
As I was saying, I think Sam is like the cause and effect. If you don't celebrate Halloween,
You see?
Sam comes. So he's not actually evil.
Well, I mean that's the thing, that it's not clear, because obviously there's the blood moon that plays a big part in it. So do these demons come out when there's the blood moon? Is it blood moon Halloween? You know, like what's the combination here? And clearly we had it before, because we hear later on in the film Mike, played by Robert Patrick, mentions something about that, where this is not the first time.
And they
this has
definitely are
happened.
demons.
Right.
Because demon, sorry, nerdy monster hunter transgression, but demons are very, salt is a demon allergy. So, and you saw that they were very sensitive to salt. So
Yeah. Started to
maybe more so than demons actually.
It was
are,
more like a
but-
flesh-eating virus. On
Well,
it.
and the thing too is, one of the things, salt is sort of a cleansing thing too, you know. So I guess you're right. Demons, you can cleanse them with salt in essence.
So
Not
can demons not swim? In the
Only
ocean?
freshwater.
Yeah.
They're pond swimmers.
Yeah.
Ain't no demons in Hampton Beach.
He can attest to that.
Yes.
Or maybe the other way around. So, but that whole scene with the blood for baby scene was pretty fucking surreal. Yeah. Like when, they're telling her, like, I can't remember exactly what the lines are, but, like, blood for baby, give it to us, like, whatever. Like, they're just talking about wanting the baby. And
It sounded kind of like Deadites lyrics, to be honest, what they were just saying.
yeah, it
Well,
did.
I don't think it was the intended result, but I thought that those kind of weird, dreamy sequences when they're carrying her and they're doing the Dora, blood for baby, we're going to carry you, Dora. I thought that was a really soothing scene. Like, I just kind of wanted to curl up and take a nap then. It was, they were really calm and speaking really nicely, and it didn't give me the creeps the way it should have, I don't think.
Well, you're pretty unshakable. You saw MonsterZero without his shirt off.
Turn on your mic.
It's on.
Oh, now it is.
Yeah, it was off for a second.
Crickets.
Like, overall, this movie, it had all these delicious, wonderful ingredients. Like the sound design, not just the soundtrack, but like the sound design overall. I don't know what you guys watched on, but I had really good speakers, and it made a huge difference. And just all of the sound design, the sound effects were super effective, and the visuals were gorgeous and perfect and beautifully done. And the effects, I thought the practical effects were great. The explodey things were a little cheeseball.
A little weird, yeah.
It was a little of a stretch.
Yeah,
and once they started getting into digital effects, they kind of lost me. But all the practical effects were beautiful. And then when they put them all together and they made this big, yummy soup out of all these perfect ingredients, it just didn't work, and they just didn't go together, and it was not okay.
I have a question for you.
I agree.
Jenny.
What's up?
Do you want a job on the podcast?
Who am I replacing?
Sounds like Ravenshadow.
Ravenshadow. The Chomper's here.
Chomper's here.
Here's my question. Would you rather get torn apart by Pinhead or be Michael Ravenshadow or MonsterZero for a day?
Why are you clumping me in with this guy?
You got fucking problems.
The first one, please.
I know you don't. I know you don't want to be me, so that's bad.
Yeah. Well, shit. I believe that. Yeah. I don't want to be you.
That said, I'm going to be at Rocket Shock.
I'm going to be at Rocket Shock.
You're going to be in Philadelphia, where
I will be in Philadelphia.
You are a 10 in Philadelphia. I'll tell you that.
I'll be seeing the Mutter Museum. I'll be visiting
the Mother Museum.
Yeah.
The Mutter Museum. I'll be seeing the Mutter Museum. I'll be.
What's the Mutter Museum?
I'll be. Shut up. I'll be seeing the Sylvester Stallone. Was it the statue in which he did the party at Kitty and Studs?
Yep.
What?
You know.
I would much rather do any of that stuff than hang out with all my Trick or Treat Radio friends from different states.
And celebrities. Yeah. Porn stars.
Yeah, people are coming from like Atlantis, from New York, from
Factory
all
of
over the
Terror.
place.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did that.
You're gonna get a cheesesteak? Yeah, go to Philadelphia. A lot of fucking culture. You live near fucking Boston, asshole.
Right.
Want to see Liberty Bell and the fucking Constitution?
Reporters from Rue Morgue and Fangoria.
Yeah.
But
Fag Rag magazine.
But Jenny's right. There is a lot. There's a lot of sumptuous in this movie, but there's just nothing to really tie it all together to make it
scrumptious,
coherent. Stop looking at me like that.
You just said sumptuous.
Yes, I did. Wait. Hold on. You just said sumptuous. That's even more surprising.
And I don't know what it means when either one of us said it.
Sumptuous.
Maybe succulent too.
Succulent. Succulent.
No, I didn't mean succulent. Yeah. Sumptuous.
Yeah, no, I don't know what it means.
It means delicious.
Snuffleupagus.
This is like
Snuffleupagus.
This is like Scotch when I'm going to hear somebody say it in like an old like 20s movie.
Well, that's not a fine how do you do.
Those damn talkies are going to ruin the pictures.
Wrench around, wrench it off.
Don't forget, I'm the original internet troll, post-internet troll. Casablanca's awful.
But
the book is better.
There's nothing. It's not. It's something about. It's just not a coherent story.
And
it's got a lot of beautiful things going for it, but it's just not coherent enough.
And something bugged me about Robert Patrick's character when he comes into the fold, like as like a prominent role. He just seemed a little too know-it-all-y, right?
Did you do this on purpose?
Yeah,
no, I didn't know.
This is significant because I think somewhere between Robert Patrick and this, and spoiler alert, Robert Patrick later on, is the ultimate Robert Patrick.
take a little of this, a little of that,
somebody
smash
call
them
Brian
together.
Michael Bendis.
Yeah, like
so. Because he was like, oh, those are runes, and like, this is what the runes mean, and this is this, and like within the span of like 5 minutes, he just explained like everything that we were wondering about.
He was like the Exposition 2000,
and
exactly,
he shouldn't, and he shouldn't have known that much.
He did. They came and fucking stole his kid, and
that's the thing. Yeah, they said
left
that
a little
it happened
fucking
before,
lumpy,
and that's how he knew. But I don't know. I feel like for a horror movie to be really scary, it has to be relatable. You have to be able to put yourself there and go, yeah, that could happen to me.
Yeah.
And they were saying, well, on this specific night, under these weather circumstances, if you happen to be pregnant and in the right town, like, oh, phew, okay, I'm good.
Yeah. You're wearing you're wearing the right color shirt.
Like don't
wearing
fuck in
matching
February,
socks.
Done.
Make sure one of your shoes is untied.
Hey, Wolfie.
Yeah.
You ready?
Yeah.
I loved this fucking movie.
Okay.
I absolutely, positively adored every frame of this.
All right.
I was a little worried with the kind of bad acting of the abortion clinic doctor.
The guy who had like hobbit ear or elf ears and looked like Peter Jackson.
I mean, I thought this was going to be a fucking mess. There was like cancer Peter Jackson, like a really stumpy, like a really awful, like stunted, like romance acting scene, and Robert Patrick all within like 2 minutes of each other. I was like, oh, well, this is going to be a fucking waste of a night. But I loved it. Do I disagree with anything you guys are saying? No. And like, I feel like, but in the way that the best Bava films and, the best Dario Argento films maybe, like, once you pull on a string of the sweater, you quickly unravel. They don't hold up to much scrutiny. All those words I just said I understand.
Well, like, I didn't know anything going into it. I kind of made sure to go in super clean slate, not know anything about either of them, so I didn't know that it was the Pontypool guy, and Pontypool is an amazing movie. Yeah. I mean, for me, at least, I would put it in, like, top 10 movies in the last 10 years. Like, doesn't matter horror or not. But seeing it without knowing that, I thought, okay, well, maybe this is somebody's, like, first flick out of art school. They're getting a little weird, but great job. And then knowing that pedigree, I lost respect for it. I went, no, you can do better. Come on, you could pull it together. Maybe it's time to, take his beatification back a step.
Yeah, it could just be considered a sophomore slump.
I don't know if this is a sophomore slump. I can't wait to see.
You love the film, so.
But I mean, here's the thing.
You don't find any fault.
In no disrespect, like Pontypool. I think if he made a mistake, I think how he got away with the same sort of vague booking, I guess here that he didn't in Pontypool
that's only on Facebook.
He gave
big book.
He gave you even less in Pontypool.
Well, I feel like he was kind of calling back to very like Twilight Zone feel.
Sure.
That very like old world, and there was still, you knew that there were zombies outside. This one, you kind of didn't know if any of this was happening at all. And, in the very beginning, they start out just completely normal. And then she's going through the woods and she has that weird little hospital noise hallucination. So right from the start, you're going, okay, well, is any of this happening? And they never really resolve if any of this ever happened at all or if this is just some chick hallucinating the whole time.
Only thing I hated in this movie, okay? Only thing that's going to probably keep this out of my top 5, and this seems like everyone knows how important this is to me. Anyone who's listened to this show for any length of time, Wolfie might be able to guess what I am. Even if he hadn't seen it, he might be able to guess. Last shot in the film. Like, I was just like, like that doesn't, like, I feel like, this film stood in a circle in the middle of, in the circle in the middle said linear plot. On the right of it, it said strange, mythical, vague, Italian style film. And on the right, there's a circle that said just silly and didn't make any sense. And by taking that very cliche and non-payoff ending that it had right there, it definitely took 2 steps to the right and like kind of cheapened everything that worked.
On what side is the circle jerk that MonsterZero is in?
He's on the bologna tit side.
Of course I am.
Well, and that's I think that's my problem. Well, so the last 15 minutes of this, I will agree. I actually really like this movie a lot, even aside from some of the other complaints that we've discussed. I think it's a gorgeous film, and I think it does some really cool stuff, and I think it does take this type of film, I don't know if you want to even call it a home invasion, a demon infestation, whatever you want to call it, it takes it in a bit of a different direction, which he did with Pontypool, with the zombie flick, and I think he does, this isn't quite as original as Pontypool was to zombie flicks. However, I think he does take this in a different direction, does some different stuff with it that you don't typically expect. Like you said, it's kind of a mix between like maybe like a Euro Italian horror, but it also has these other elements to it. So it's kind of like towing the line between these two types of films. And I think toward the end for me, the last 15 or so minutes, I don't know if it was just the character and they were trying to portray Robert Patrick's character a certain way, but I almost felt like this film was preaching to me a little bit. Did any of you guys get that at all?
Yeah.
When
I actually did.
Okay.
Which was weird. Like I very early on when I figured out kind of, and again, this movie's not perfect. Maybe it's just my sick Clive Barker style infested mind that made me realize very fast who these kids were.
Mm-hmm.
But once I realized who they were, I was wondering, like, would such a essentially liberal company put out such a heavy-handed, heavy-handed right-wing stance on abortion? I guess like this could be taken every bit as whether they mean it or misinterpreted, like John Carpenter's supposedly purity cleansing of Michael Myers in the first Halloween as a very strong stance on abortion.
Yeah, for sure. That's sort of what I was getting at when I said preachy. It's because Robert Patrick's character was like, basically, have the baby because it's a wonderful thing. Like, you shouldn't even be thinking about an abortion, about anything else. You need to have the baby. So unless he was sort of taken over by these demons or whatever and was trying to encourage her to keep the baby for nefarious reasons, that's the thing I couldn't disseminate, Well,
I mean, that's what I got out of it. I thought that he was kind of, Team Demon convincing her, because he does when they go upstairs in the definitely not their house.
Mm-hmm.
He goes into that weird kind of glitched out demon voice for a second and does the piggy reference, which was throughout everything. I don't know if you guys noticed, but in the background,
oh yeah, for sure,
there were like pig tchotchkes and pig knickknacks throughout everybody's house, and
there's a pig that was bleeding at the beginning.
My little piggy, blood for baby, in that same sentence, and then she's holding that hentai baby. So
yeah. So did any of you guys, any of you other guys get that, where it was kind of a little bit heavy-handed?
Yeah, it kind of took a turn, and I did back to back. This is the second flick I watched out of the two, so it was getting a little late, and things were flowing a little bit. But yeah, I know what I'm getting. Fucking a sermon.
a sermonian film.
A sermon, yeah.
So that it came at a point in the film where it was like building, and I got this, and I was like, whoa, like this. All of a sudden, to me, got preachy, whether it was intentional or not, and I was like, so this whole film is about like, pro life, like that's. I almost got that vibe, and I hope that's not the case. I hope I'm just misinterpreting
think that would be the
it.
case.
Is it the first pro-life horror film?
I know. I think every horror film is pro-life when you think about it.
And I hope we're not.
What does that mean?
Well, in terms of like, you don't want
people
to
strive
die.
to survive.
Yeah, that's not what pro-life is.
No.
So.
Yeah.
I like
making sure you stay alive. That's pro-life.
Like,
no, but
honestly,
once you're out,
like,
they don't care.
Yeah.
Oh,
like,
I agree. I
like,
agree.
Game over.
But I don't know if this is preachy.
I will use it in a sentence. In retrospect, MonsterZero's parents are not pro-life.
But that's. I don't know if we're digging too
See,
deep.
you don't, MonsterZero, you don't think that this shit here looks fucking mad cool?
I never said anything about I never said anything negative about the visuals. I think the movie looks great.
Mm-hmm.
I think the movie is dead original.
And granted, they're not really kids, but anytime a kid-sized entity is, is put in harm, I feel like that's a potentially edgy movie. See, but that's the mixed message of this. Like, in one breath, I guess it's kind of like.
This is a weird scene.
It's kind of like pro-life, but or could be interpreted as, but she's definitely blowing kids away left and right.
That could have been a very different statement.
Because I'll fucking trick or treat next this year. I got a costume in the back.
So one other thing, we do need to wrap up and go to a verdict soon. But one other thing, if this is the first flick in a series, I think this changes the way I think about this film. And I know that that's kind of a weird statement to say, but if this is an origin story for this baby, if there is a baby, like if you go with that train of thought, like born under a blood moon with like, you know, like that almost seems like an origin story to me. Did any of you guys get that at all?
Could be.
Yeah.
Your mic's off.
Fucking A.
Jesus Christ.
Jeez, Ravenshadow.
It's really like I was apparently turning it off before,
I'm
but
gonna
like,
put this back.
no, I don't like. That was when Jenny
See
pointed
where
out
he
that I
puts
was
it.
turning it off when I was eating popcorn, but I haven't been eating popcorn, so I don't
That's
know why it's
it.
happening.
Blame her.
No, that's not what I said. That she pointed out why I was turning it off. Is this like Jenny just tolerates me and she really likes you?
I think it is.
Yeah.
I think
By
you
the
wanna
way,
be like-
I told the Red Queen that,
Yeah.
and she literally almost caused vehicular homicide. She was laughing so hard.
Dynamo, stop being
Yeah.
like Johnny.
Yeah. Oh my God, I got some feedback about that too.
So origin, no? And
Yeah,
anyone else got
it's
that?
possible. I just
Hellion
don't.
begins.
It's always possible. I mean,
Yeah, I just don't know if it's going to be. Unfortunately, what kind of cheapens it is if this movie makes enough money, and you know, if you go by things like Contracted and stuff like that, it doesn't have to make a lot. Any one of these are an origin movie, but I think where you're coming from is a much cooler place that makes this. I don't know, a little more, certainly a little more interesting.
I mean, it also kind of gives hope for a resolution where I feel like there might not be any.
Yeah. That I love that scene right there with
Yeah.
all the pumpkins.
That's fucking
Yeah.
beautiful.
Gorgeous. Yeah. There's some really gorgeous
You think
scenes in
you
here.
think that's a bat painting?
No, I don't think
Really?
so.
So fucking cool.
Thank you, Melissa.
A lot of this reminds me of Phantasm, the first one.
Boy.
Oh, yeah. Melissa just said, I'm putting off watching American Horror Story for you guys. Now that's love.
That is
Wow.
love.
Wow. Thank you.
Thank you, Melissa.
Thank you, Melissa.
Melissa, meet Jenny Isme. We've just made it worth it by how cool she is. And it's also the last episode of one of our panelists.
See you later, MZ.
Wait.
This is a weird song. Was like Mickey Mouse?
Blood for Baby.
Is that techno guy, that Moss guy?
Dead mouse.
Mill Mouse Karas.
Blood for Baby.
It's weird. This movie was better the first time I saw it. It was called Children of the Corn.
Jesus Christ.
Meets Rosemary's Baby.
All right. So I guess it's verdict time. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
Anyone have anything else to say before we go to that? All right. I guess not. So let's go to verdict.
Trick or treat, baby.
I wonder if people would say you're a trick or a treat.
Trick or treat, motherfucker.
All right, verdict time. This is when we tell you whether we thought this film was a trick or a treat and any final thoughts we may have. Dynamo.
This movie is a treat for the peepers. It, again, like any movie that is heavy symbolism and loosey-goosey on conventional narrative, like, it's probably easy to derail any narrative that you do find in it, but I thought this movie was just like boner-inducing Halloween nerd shot after boner-inducing Halloween nerd shot, and that's enough for me. So this is a treat, kids.
All right, Ravenshadow.
All right, MonsterZero.
I don't know if I agree with Dynamo. I'm on the fence.
Okay, well, get off that fucking fence and go one way or the other.
Let me climb down.
Chug your beer and just fall on whichever side
Yeah.
you want to fall on.
Humpty Dumpty over here. What side you fall on?
More like humpless Dumpty.
Never once was it mentioned he was a fucking egg.
I was just thinking that.
Because you're fucking smart, Jenny.
That-
We're gonna fucking talk when we smoke later on. Fuck all these fucking guys. Tepid treat.
All right, MZ.
Everything looked great in this film. Performances were good. The music was good. The sound design was real good. The visuals were awesome in this film. But I just felt that there was something missing in this film that to tie it all together, and it wasn't a very comprehensive film. Which is not to say that films like this can't be good. They can be. Look at some of Argento's work. Some of the most beautiful films ever made, and some of them are very incomprehensive, and that's where this falls. But that doesn't mean it can't be enjoyable. This is a treat, but I think it would probably take maybe 1 or 2 more viewings to get the full gist of what the hell is going on. But it is a gorgeous film without question. So I'd say a treat.
All right. For me, this was also a treat. I think Bruce McDonald made this flick interesting for me. However, as stated before, I don't think he had a ton to work with as far as the script was concerned. I couldn't tell if it was just intentionally left open so the viewer could sort of input their own thought into it, or if it was just kind of a thin script. So that alone, I think, depending on which side it was intended to, I think is still a failure on the script's part. And I was also a tiny bit uneasy at the preachy tone this film got towards the end, whether it was just character driven or not. I just felt like it was preaching. However, saying all that, I think the atmosphere and creepiness that was created was well worth the price of admission, and that score is really well done. Just the atmosphere that Bruce McDonald is able to create here is well worth it. And I definitely think this is a film you should seek out, because this is one that's going to be, I don't think it's going to be super divisive. I think if you like these kind of flicks and you're into the Halloween movies and the demon infestations, house,
This was certainly an interesting take on a siege movie, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's why I don't know if it's like a demon infestation, if it's a home invasion. It's kind of a combination, I guess. So,
well, Hellions is a kind of demon.
Yeah,
they're
yep.
They're netherpunk are like vampires. They're basically dead. They're Hellions or dead children or jack-o'-lanterns.
The big thing, I need to wrap up, but the big thing is I just don't know why they were going after Dora.
Because that's who they were. They were collecting another one of their kind. They were unwanted children.
Why didn't you say that earlier?
Oh, what's the fuck? Inside like a motherfucker.
I just assumed everybody picked up on it.
No.
Well, he said that was why they took his wife before, is that she was pregnant. So it was the baby snatching, and it just happened to be the right town, the right day, the right girl.
So did they say that I don't recall.
They
did Mike say that he didn't want the child?
Well, nobody wants a child.
Robert Patrick's character, did he say that child was unwanted?
No, he seemed pretty bummed about it.
No, yeah, he wanted it, but
so that child wasn't unwanted.
Well,
then
maybe
they
it was
took
maybe the subtext was it was unwanted by her,
or maybe it was the Robert Patrick demon avatar that wanted it.
Right,
and that's who's talking the whole time.
Could be, and that could very well be. But I mean, that is a good point, and makes me think of it from a slightly different angle.
I'm so sorry. I thought that was, and that's kind of what Hellions are. It's like calling this movie vampires.
Without vampires.
They'd be like, wait a minute, they were sucking blood? What?
Dracula's.
Sorry. Like, it's obviously 9 million times of an obscure pull, but I'm kind of a nerd about these sort of things. So hashtag every edition of the Monster Manual.
Because never kissed a girl.
No, not once.
Spider-Man's the coolest.
Not for free.
I think that would take care of a little bit of the preachy tone for me then, because then, it makes a little bit more sense. It's not just straight out of left field. It's more relevant to what's going on. So I feel kind of like an idiot now if I didn't pick up on that. I don't know if any of you guys did, but no, apparently Ravenshadow did not. So I feel better.
My comic wife did.
Your comic wife?
Mm-hmm. No, my comic husband. It'd be good if what's going to be terrible is when my comic husband and my movie wife get together and start making fun of me at Rocket Shock. It's going to be a fucking Demon Nightmare Hell Ride.
See what you're missing, MonsterZero?
Yeah.
All right, so
let's get a fucking cheesesteak.
That's going to wrap our coverage of Hellions.
Oh my God, I can't believe he's missing fucking Rocket Shock.
I know.
It's fucking unprecedented.
It's
just say you have the diareas.
The cha-cha-cha.
Like, you know,
a bunch of those.
Right, hold on. She's not listening. Your wife does. Your girlfriend Zero doesn't want to hang out with you. Like spoiler alert. So if you have a little bit of the bubble guts supposedly that day. Right?
Yeah. Tell you had a bunch of those black fucking bun Whoppers at Burger King.
Yeah. And your shit is blue.
Wait,
green.
No, just get some like pea soup and like have it like and put it in your pants.
Yeah.
And then so it drips down your leg. Then also like you spit it out so it's coming out of both ends.
And then she'd be like, fucking again?
Yeah. Don't again.
Wait, isn't the goal avoiding traveling very far distances? How is this helping?
Didn't the
Does she need a visual?
Yeah, didn't the don't get caught like Edge and Christian did by Commissioner Foley, but just like dump the pea soup into the toilet.
This is absurd.
Like
FaceTime her.
Yeah.
That it's
Yeah, so no, yeah, just be like that. Just be like, oh, I can't go because I got bubble guts.
Bubble guts.
Yeah.
Wrigley's bubble guts.
I'm telling you right now, I would open the puzzle box and make the John Cena bites come out if it meant that I could go to Rocket Shop.
Oh man.
We have to think of a way to get you out of that.
All right, we'll think about that during the break. Next week, even though we're doing 2 films, I'm gonna reveal next week's film. Next week, we're going to review, thanks to our friend Tony Timpone, who hooked us up with this, we're going to review the live-action Attack on Titan.
Nice.
Part 1.
Oh, I wanted to do that one. Why didn't you do that this
Come
week?
back!
Yeah. Why
Come
you can come back.
week.
Are you a big fan of the anime?
I am actually. I'm not
man,
an
I feel like a
anime
jerk now.
person, but the Attack on Titan anime was splendid.
You can just be on the show from now on.
We're getting rid of one of them. So.
When I go outside with Ravenshadow, I'll just nudge him off the edge.
Just push him over the balcony.
Yeah.
What's that over there? That's weird. Hey.
Give him, instead of a cigarette, give him dynamite. He'll
we-
still smoke it.
We are really like Castle Wolfenstein. Part of the reason it's so hot and we can't open any windows is Castle Wolfenstein literally overlooks a major Massachusetts highway. Just throw a pack of smokes into Route 9.
Yep, he'll go after it. throw one of those pumpkin Leinenkugels.
Yeah. Oh my Lord, it's a Leinenkugel.
All right, so next week we're going to review Attack on Titan. It's out in theaters in other parts of the country. I don't think it's even been released here yet.
Japan.
Yeah, in Japan, but I don't think it's released here in the States is what I'm saying. But we do have an advanced copy thanks to Tony Timpone, and because he's doing some marketing for it, and he thought that we'd enjoy it. So we're going to get to check that out early. And the film is like burning up the charts over in Japan, China, I think as well. I think it's like breaking all kinds of box office records over there. So pretty cool. So we're going to
Jenny, do you have a hockey mask?
I know a guy.
She made a hockey mask at one point in time.
It's true.
So we're going to do Attack on Titan next week, and we'll have a guest. Maybe we'll talk about that later on in the show. But for now, we need to take a break. Ravenshadow needs an IV of nicotine.
Nick, can I fucking smoke, please?
You can, sure. This is a quick break, so...
Well, no fucking...
Jenny, lock him out when you come in, okay?
Don't do it, Jenny.
All right.
Don't believe Johnny's lies.
So we're going to be back in just a moment. We're going to review Lost After Dark, our second film for the Creature Double Feature.
One dark and stormy night in the mid-'80s, Joe Bob Briggs, Harlan Ellison, and the ghost of El Santo pulled a train on Elvira while Siskel and Ebert sobbingly masturbated in the corner. From that union arose the greatest movie critic and luchador that ever lived. But we're not going to talk about him. He's kind of a dick. Instead, we're going to talk about me, El Goro, the stuttering movie fan and host of the Talk Without Rhythm podcast. Every week on Talk Without Rhythm, I discuss 2 to 3 movies tangentially tied together by a theme. I cover action.
I'm the most complete fighter in the world.
Sci-fi.
Open the pod bay doors, Hal.
I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that.
Horror.
Oh, no tears, please. It's a waste of good suffering.
And the continuing adventures of James Spader, sexual deviant.
You're not worried that I'm going to fuck you, are you? I'm not interested in that, not in the least. Now pull up your skirt.
So check me out at TWORpodcast.blogspot.com, drunkenzombie.com, or subscribe on iTunes. Talk Without Rhythm, the only podcast that will not attract the world. Adios!
Hello, darlings. It's your favorite whiskey-drinking, litigious, singing, dancing fantasy girl. Want to reach out to me and the world's greatest monster-hunting multimedia organization, the Deadites? Log on to Facebook.com/The Deadites. It's got all the info you need to follow the world's greatest monster hunting band, like live appearances, info on your favorite Deadite, music, and all the links you need to our new weekly multimedia and all our side endeavors. Too many letters on Facebook? That's okay, sugar. Just follow us on Instagram and Twitter @The Deadites. Hope to see you soon, and we'll leave the lights off.
Back on Trick or Treat Radio, episode 167. You gonna say something?
Yes.
That's it?
That's
All
it.
right.
With one less person than we had the last time we came back from a break.
That's right.
We're losing people left and right.
Yeah.
Who will go next? Will it be Wolfenstein or will it be I?
Well, there's no show without me, so...
Oh, please.
Get out.
You put yourself on such a fucking high pedestal.
I'm serious. Are you gonna run this?
Yes, I will.
What do you do?
What do I do?
Yeah.
I run the show.
What buttons do you click?
Oh, wouldn't you like to know? I'm not gonna tell you my secrets.
This guy thinks the show goes on without me.
I drink Dr. Pepper.
All right. So in the chat room, let me just catch up real quick. Melissa says, I'm eating pea soup right now. Thanks.
Yum.
And Jeannette says Deadites do have a concert. I'm so excited for it.
Yay!
And then Melissa says wouldn't be the same without Ravenshadow. Hey,
Jeannette, I have a T-shirt idea. Give me a call tomorrow. I think you'd be perfect for it.
And Reservoir Dog says, unfortunately, I have to pull an MZ and leave early. Dynamo, feel free to pass my number to Jenny, and long live Ravenshadow.
All right.
All right. Well, next we're going to review.
Here you go, Jenny. It's 1-800. Doesn't have a fucking chance.
Doesn't have a fucking chance. All right. Next, we're going to review a flick entitled Lost After Dark. This flick from 2014 is 89 minutes long. It is a horror flick, and it is written and directed by Ann Kessner, also co-written by Bo Ransdell, and it stars Robert Patrick from the last film. I had no idea he was in both. It's funny we're doing a Robert Patrick double feature. Also features Sarah Fisher, Mark Wiebe, Jesse Camacho, Kendra Lee Timmons, David Lipper, and Elise Gatian. I don't know what that is. So, Lost After Dark, the synopsis we have here. In this clever homage to 80s slasher films, a group of teenagers looking to party get stranded when their ride breaks down and end up being stalked by a cannibalistic killer. MZ.
Yes.
I couldn't help but think of you when I was watching this film, because I know that you're such a fan of 80s slashers.
I am.
So, we're not going to wait for them. We're going to dive
That's where you
right
go?
in. Huh?
That's where you go?
Yeah.
You go MZ for the 80s slashers? I could see if this was like the editor, but I think that I'm Mr. 80s slashers at this time.
Oh, you guys want to fucking duke it out?
Yeah, well, that won't be much of a fight. He'll kill me. But at the same time, I feel like I have permanent brain and teeth. I have a scar on my head that won't heal.
I'm trying to get him involved.
Okay, thanks. Sorry. All right. Sorry.
So
I've
MZ,
never seen one of these.
What did you think of this flick, and how spot on was it for the 80s slasher genre?
Well, it was very well done. I was quite surprised actually at how well it grabbed onto the style, the personality of the characters were in this film. I mean, I was really, really, really kind of shocked.
Yeah, right down to the stereotypes.
Oh, exactly. You got the jock, the slut, the geek. You know, the
token black man,
the token black dude
with the afro,
with the big ass afro. He got like the Ike Turner thing going on.
That afro was a terrible wig, by the way.
Oh, it was. that was the
offensive.
Yeah.
Oh, fucking cloud of smoke! Jesus
It's
Christ!
all him.
Yeah, but
I know it is.
You know,
Oh,
I'm not going to kick anybody on this side of the table out of bed for eating crackers, if you will. But
It's a lot better than smoking with Aries, I'll say that much.
Take it back. Take it back.
yeah,
All right, Jay, come on, Jay, let's get out of here.
Let's get out of here.
But I also like the idea of the characters' names that they took. That
yeah.
They're all Wesley, Heather. I forget who else. Toby. A bunch of names reminiscent of 70s and 80s style horror films. Although it's not an original idea.
No, it's not. But at least they were kind of clever about it. It wasn't Craven and it wasn't Carpenter.
Yeah.
Or Slade Craven.
Right.
Yeah. They were a little bit
Slade Craven.
a little bit more
the only
creative.
film before this one that I've seen that wasn't offensive with that is Dog Soldiers. And that's because I feel like the ones with the most, like, they don't call Corporal Bruce Campbell, Corporal Campbell in that one. His name is they just refer to him as Bruce. You know what I mean? Like, and this was a very similar thing where they didn't, like, linger on it too much. Or,
Well, that's what they did. Well, like in Sleepaway Camp 3, Teenage Wasteland, that's what they did. They named all their characters after Brat Pack members.
Right. I remember reading about that.
You got TC, Molly, Anthony.
Bender.
You got all them. The only thing, it had a nice gory murders. The whole deal had like you said, Wolfie, the stereotypes. The only thing that this movie was missing,
Archetypes.
Shut up.
No, it had them.
The only thing
Stereotypes.
Yes. The only now you got me loose. The only
You loose? Yeah, I did.
the only thing.
Just stay still.
All right, sorry.
I have such beautiful things to show you.
Shut that shit off.
You can't see me. My time is now. Chatterer and Bobby are my pals.
Is the complete, if I remember correctly, the complete lack of nudity in this film.
Yeah, I've actually made a note of that.
I can't wait to fucking talk about this film.
I thought for sure, this movie would be loaded with TNA, and it wasn't.
Can I jump in on that?
Shut up.
Fuck your mother.
But
I think MonsterZero's kind of hot. So
word.
Yeah,
I'll be a beekeeper.
Oh my God.
I'll admit I've thought about it before. Would you cut interior lunchroom? Hi, what's for dinner this week, MonsterZero? Would you like a little bit more sloppy Joe? Dynamo?
All right, now you can shut up.
As someone who has no idea what she looks like, I'm just picturing you in a dress and a hairnet.
No, she's much more attractive than him.
That's not saying anything. But eat a green Whopper and you'll produce.
Ravenshadow, jump in.
Hey, at least I was born. You were congealed from under a rock somewhere.
Fair.
No, we came in late because we were smoking like fucking grown-ups. But right from the intro, I was fucking sold. Like I'm with this. You know what I mean? Like and to back to the nudity. Sorry, I didn't know Jenny was going to be here. There should have been more.
Why?
Because
you can't talk about nudity when she's here.
A couple of dudes. That's what dudes talk
Yeah,
about.
I know you like. I know you prefer it that way.
She's a lady.
But no, man, guys talk about like engines, metal, and flannel. That's what guys talk about, and nudity. But there was a key moment in the bus scene when they were getting out of they were getting to their forest gear. Like,
Okay.
you know what I mean? Like they were getting from their like prom dress gear to the next gear.
We don't have to agree. Go ahead.
Okay, well, I don't give a fuck. Well, what
You
the
haven't
fuck?
started yet.
I'm just
Johnny.
saying
Why
what the
would
fuck
you
they were
start now?
doing. Well, where are the girls? Oh, they're getting changed, and there should have been some nudity there. There was a nice girl-on-girl kiss,
Yeah.
which was appreciative.
No, you appreciated. It wasn't It wasn't. It was appreciative.
What I do?
Well, I mean, it was a little bit of fan service. It could be.
Yeah.
Okay, fair. Don't
Adaption.
tiny white him.
Thank you, Jenny. But yeah, no, as you were, MonsterZero.
You know, you had a slight backstory on the killer. You know, it was basically your dumb, stupid 80s slasher flick, and, you know, they pulled no punches on that. They weren't trying to hide anything. They weren't trying to be clever or anything like that. It was just another one. They played it out exactly the way they intended to, and that was just to be a modern-day idea of an 80s slasher flick.
I got one question.
Wait, I don't think it was modern day at all.
No,
I think it was.
I think
no,
it was
no.
1981.
I mean
a
no.
facsimile of
Yeah.
those.
Yes,
I got
yes,
I got one
yes,
question
because it does
for you,
take place in
Johnny.
1984.
I got one question for
Yes.
you, Johnny.
Yes.
What was 1996 Michael Ravenshadow so angry about in this movie?
Which one?
He's just going around hitting people. Tired, because that's what the
He didn't
neighborhood
have,
that I
he
used
didn't
to
have
live
long
in.
hair though in this movie.
Yeah.
What?
Huh?
Which one? The fat kid?
No. No, the
The
killer.
tough guy.
Oh yeah, he looked kind of like Hagrid. Like the killer. And here's the thing: who was the guy that was cutting the hat? I was confused.
Cutting the hat.
Yeah, he was cutting the hat, and Hagrid.
It was a
killed
rat.
him.
Oh, it was a drifter. He was about to nom on it.
There's a rat.
Oh, I thought
Or
that
a
was the
squirrel.
family.
No.
No, that's why when he comes up, he says "my house."
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It took a couple
She's
times for us
fucking
to figure out what he
schooling
said.
you.
Yeah.
She's schooling you.
No, we're having a conversation.
You are off the show, my friend. You're off.
I feel.
No, but why was the guy cutting the hat? Like, that's weird.
I'm gonna go out. She may not want the gig in the long run, but I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that the age of stunt
Aquarius.
tinies, the age of stunt tinies might have ended.
It's the age of Aquarius
Yeah.
over here with Ravenshadow.
I will say, as much as I did enjoy this, there is going to be a Mars commentary of this, where every single time the killer is walking around, I'm gonna mumble like Rob Zombie lyrics, like he's just running through the woods. It's like
girl.
Yeah.
There was I saw a headline go by on the news that he got kicked out of a show because they thought he was a homeless
that
guy.
was that was a lie.
Was it?
Yeah,
I didn't.
if you so you know how Facebook is set up now that there'll be like a news story and then there'll be all like a I don't know what to call it, almost like
A meme?
almost like the thing at the bottom. I forget what MonsterZero. What's the thing at the bottom of the Trick or Treat radio screen called? With the
Chiron?
Yeah,
Chiron.
there's almost like a Chiron of like news headlines that you can move across the bottom of your screen.
Mm-hmm.
Like right under that was it wasn't even supposed to be true. I guess that's a comedy site, just nobody knows it.
Oh, see, I'll admit I saw the headline. I didn't actually read it.
It's not. I mean, it's. I mean, Bob Dylan got thrown out of a Bob Dylan show a couple years ago, and that was on Rolling Stone, I guess. So it's not.
That's fair.
It's not outrageous. I found out Bob Dylan was a horror fan very recently. I didn't know that.
I have
So-
the same birthday as Rob Zombie.
Really?
Just saying.
So I think as far as 80s slashers go,
Yeah, but he has Sherry Moon Zombie fatality.
as far as 80s slasher films go, I think this was spot on, aside from what we mentioned about.
Aside from one thing.
Okay.
Is it the TNA?
Nope.
Besides the TNA.
Yeah, I mean, some of these didn't have TNA though. Like
I think
as a
this-
kid who spent a lot of time in 1984 with his pants around his ankles waiting, I can tell you a lot of these slasher.
That's why your pants are still
Yeah.
down all the time.
To be fair, today.
Yeah. You're still
I can
waiting.
tell you a lot of these slasher movies did not have, even the Friday the 13th ones later on, like, you know, like
No,
I'm
but
like,
there's more with nudity than there
Can
is
I
without.
Can I steal something from you?
There
Don?
really is.
Yep.
I'm gonna steal something from you, Don.
Give me for a change.
Yeah. No.
Okay.
wait, no.
All right.
This was a near perfect film,
Sure.
except for two things for me.
Was one the lost reel?
Yes.
Not not indicative of this
that
type
hurt the
of
film.
film.
That hurt.
Get it.
That hurt the film.
Infuriating.
But
Yeah.
That hurt.
I totally get Grindhouse and what he did in there.
But I don't feel like this
but
was
this isn't even that.
It's
Yeah.
not that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm fucking with this. I'm with this. And that was like,
This was
breaks.
too 80s to be a film that
it
would
would have
be
that.
would have been like a. This might have been like a drive-in, like a a later drive-in entry.
Yeah.
But I feel like like this is probably something that would have come out in like in between 1983 and 1985. And I feel like there was like I don't know. Considering you can watch a film like Spookies from like a print, like on YouTube right now, like once you got past like 85, there wasn't like as many like shitty prints around with dropped reels and stuff like that.
That was a grinding halt for me in the
I
inclusion.
could be wrong though.
Well,
I
it
guess
was a huge cop
Well,
out.
the
Yeah.
well,
agree.
Let Jenny,
it was. It was.
Stop talking. Let Jenny talk.
So when it was used in Planet Terror, that was sort of a tongue-in-cheek, like, okay, we're not going to show you the sex scene. That was funny. Like, I remember laughing out loud
and you never
in the
did,
theater.
And you never did get to see how the barbecue shack got caught on fire.
As a
Right,
Rose
it's true.
McGowan
Yeah,
fan,
yeah.
not
You're
funny.
pissed. Yeah.
Yeah, pissed.
Frustrated.
But this I mean,
But this was-
that had merit. This just came across as a complete cop out.
Yeah, I agree.
And the Grindhouse era ended in 1986. Now is it? So it's kind of it's unlikely for them to have missing reels.
The institutions existed, but these were the print system, the way prints were being like put around were more reliable.
Let me just chime in real quick. Where this fails is most of these were watched on VHS.
VHS.
Yes.
It does not work because most people have seen these flicks on VHS, not in the
You
theater.
could have had a tracking error.
Well, they fucked around with the film a little bit. They gave it scratches at points where
I hated that.
I didn't mind it. I didn't mind that.
I didn't mind it.
I didn't mind that either because
It's a little tired.
It's a little reminiscent of what we saw on VHS tapes, not so much what we saw in the theater. In the theater, we would have seen crackling going on with a little cigarette burn going on in the upper right-hand corner. That's what we would have gotten back then. On 80s tapes, those were kind of taken out for the most part, but it was the quality of the tape, whether it was Scotch or JVC or whatever, I don't know. But the quality of the tape also transcended to how well it was going to transfer onto that tape.
We watched the last
And I think
word,
they did that. I think they did that pretty well.
in my opinion, of that sort of meta film like damage thing in the editor when the character noticed the cigarette burn.
Yeah.
I feel like, all right, folks, see the editor. We don't have to do this anymore. Like, it started really well with Grindhouse, what has been done a few times very well in both tone and gimmick. But earlier this year, the editor came out. There it is.
Well,
we don't have to fucking do it anymore.
Yeah, and this was just done because I think probably the filmmaker was like, "Oh, this will be funny." Like, it just was like something he wanted to do to throw in there, and it just did not work, and it really did affect my viewing experience.
Because it was great. I love. I'm sorry, and I forget what we were fucking talking about.
The missing reel.
Oh yeah, but like
have another beer.
We're talking about Lost After Dark. It's
is that a
80s
movie?
slasher
Treat.
throwback.
But no, I liked how they were all converging.
Lost after dark and you're insane. Why's Ravenshadow so angry?
When they're gonna assault, they're gonna team up.
No,
to
Assault was
attack.
the last movie.
Oh shit! They're gonna fight Hagrid, and then they're all like, "Fuck this!" And then they run around like he's the Keystone Cops. Now business is picking up. The cut reel takes me the fuck out of it. I don't give a fuck anymore.
One thing that I thought about it also, like from a filmmaking standpoint, it almost seemed like something went horribly wrong with their filming and they were kind of covering their asses. Like they realized that they had screwed up a shot later.
You turn your fucking mic off again. Jesus Christ.
Because they refer
I think
back
this thing
to
has a hair trigger.
Jesus Christ.
They refer back
Right.
because later on
So
she
they
says,
were-
I nailed him with a
Yeah.
rock.
So, which
And
not
it's like-
only makes me think that I'd be a little more apologetic if they found out they lost something, but if they explain it, it ruins the joke in the first place when you see it working optimally in Planet Terror.
That's well. I mean, I might be making excuses because I loved this one. I thought this one was near perfect.
I liked
so
it
that
too.
was just like that was a bigger disappointment because it was so good.
Yeah.
But I thought maybe it was covering a filming error.
Second thing that took me out of it was the dog.
That scene was terrible.
Animal violence again.
I don't
Animal
know.
violence
No,
is the.
I
Yeah, you're the
agree.
one who was
Why do I
disappointed
agree
last
with
week
you?
that
Yeah,
there wasn't any
because
violence.
you want animal violence in your films.
But not even the animal violence. Like in some weird.
It didn't serve a purpose.
Nope.
That was a fucking insipid character. She had she didn't. I guess the only reason to justify it is she only cared about material things. She was that stuck up. Spoiled kid who had a dog just to have a dog to carry around and didn't care about it. So it was expendable to her. That's the only
again,
Oh, see,
thing.
no, I disagree. I
No,
so
that's the
disagree.
only way it makes sense to me.
Right.
No,
And-
see, so the thing is, because I looked at this movie as like they took every known trope they could come up with and went, how do we change it?
Yeah.
And that she was
for sure.
that vacant popular.
That's
she was Heather.
that's a really good point.
Well, and she was a Heather, right? But so she's in the car and she has the dog, and you expect her to want to protect the dog because she showed that she was protective of the dog when she drops it, and the boyfriend with the whole thing, and then he slapped it out of her hand. She's very protective of the dog at that time, and I felt like that was her turning point. That you go, there's more depth to this character. She's going to sacrifice the only thing she actually gives a shit about, in the hopes that they don't get gut stabbed, which didn't really work out for them. But
and that was a powerful outcome.
Hashtag hired.
However, like the fact that Johnny, you got a little dog, I got a little dog. The dog is not that quiet. The dog only made noise till that moment.
That's why he pulled a mash.
I mean, I feel like the boyfriend was even surprised about the
Mesh?
dog. I
No.
thought that she was kind of pulling something out of her that you didn't think was there.
But you can't smuggle a dog in a bag.
Here's
my thought was that why bother even having the dog other than paying homage to films that have done that in the past? That's the only reason.
Here's my
it did nothing
right.
for her character other than it just did nothing.
But if this film could only exist, if under the pretense is a lost film, and this can only exist in a world after Friday the 13th, right? That is something that would have happened kind of before Friday the 13th, or I would say with the exception of The Hills Have Eyes, I feel like movies just weren't that mean in 1983 to 1987 when the shit was going on. If you look at films, probably the most underrated one of this is Just Before Dawn, which I feel like this has some similarities to The Bus. And,
yes, absolutely. Just Before Dawn, great flick.
Yeah,
by
terrific. What's the other one? This also reminded me of the other movie that reminded me of Just Before Dawn that I can never remember. The one that we reviewed when Josh was on.
Final Terror.
Yeah, Final Terror.
Yeah, it did remind me a little bit of that.
So by using those two movies as a benchmark, because they were obviously influenced, this movie came out in 1984. This fake movie came out in 1984, and I feel like that was a 1978, 1981 scene. Now, that's not to say when you're making a meta movie, you can't, cherry pick other type things that you like from other movies. But it really took me out of it because they're asking you to buy into this conceit that, you found this old VHS under your couch essentially and put on this movie that you've never seen before. And that dog scene, made it seem very contemporary because it seems to be the new fucking hotness in 2015, killing animals. And B, it just, again, and maybe somebody can correct me, I feel like these slasher films were they didn't have fucking dogs in them for scenes like that because you couldn't fucking afford to have them around, and B, that's just not what they were about. You know what I mean? That was such a weird character moment where I felt like why is this even in the movie? Not just because of animal violence. I was I guess if it's for a reason at any point, I agree with Jenny. But which I hope is something I can say a lot going forward, is that I just was I actually missed what happened to her because there was a fucking chore I was kind of putting off, a Frankenstein chore, and I got out, that was the bane that broke the Batman's back for a minute. That happened, and it was animal violence, and I didn't understand why I was in the movie, and I just got up for a minute, and didn't come back to. I never saw her die. So.
Well, I mean, if it was gratuitous, I think they would have shown it because they made a point not to show it. You saw the arm movement and you saw the look on her face, and I feel like her face was showing that she was making this last.
I think it was
sacrifice.
narratively. Just my vocabulary just clean slipped its wits. It was narratively gratuitous though. Like
the best way
but it's not like dogs haven't been killed in slasher films before though.
Name a scene with a moment of like in the middle of one of these movies that has any sort of introspectiveness at all, let alone something on the level of that she kills her beloved dog.
Well, so here's a question though: did you see it coming?
I did.
Yes. Did you feel the telegraphing? Because honestly, I saw it that the boyfriend was going to do it, and when she did it, it surprised me. I thought it was going to be the boyfriend.
I thought it was going to be the boyfriend doing it.
No, I thought that guy was going to reach in and tear the dog apart.
Because the moment that she busts out a dog by the school bus, you know that something's happening. That dog's not making it.
And that's my other complaint about this movie, and not a deal breaker by any stretch of the imagination.
What up, Tim?
But the school bus, like why? They seem to put a lot into the school bus to just not really do anything with it.
Yeah.
It's that they had it, like, and even 84, someone's going to fucking see a school bus leaving a fucking dance game. Mm-hmm. Especially when fucking Robert Patrick's, the fucking Terminator 2 is your fucking principal.
Well, he saw it go. He just wanted an excuse to take his sweet ride out for a little drive.
And can I say something, too?
Yeah. Unfortunately.
What's going to stop you, man?
Fuck yourself, Monster.
If we could. I love how I can say something mean and I get ignored.
I was surprised. I thought there'd be a different final girl.
Yeah.
Well, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like everybody did.
Yeah.
That was
fucking awesome.
That was a nice little switch.
And
That was a nice little switch.
Well, we actually, the second time we watched it, we kept track of the order they died in, and it's the exact reverse of what it should be for the traditional.
For sure.
How you pick them
You
up.
are 100%.
Yes.
Johnny.
I said today.
Johnny.
But I'm saying the same thing, too.
Not in a cohesive manner.
Yeah, we don't. There's a chair there. We don't have to get rid of it.
But did anybody else kind of like when there was the dad who was super nice?
Her notes are drawn, Johnny. Her notes are drawn.
Can I see the drawings?
Yeah.
Oh man, these are way better than your notes.
Let me see. Is she right, Bombaleo?
There's little characters of all the characters.
Let's see.
Oh my God! These are
not us.
Can we publish these?
Who was who?
This is like hieroglyphs. This is like fucking knock Kurt
Can we
Cobain
publish
shit out
these?
the box. Really? Holy shit! This is fucking good.
Not Kurt Cobain. Kurt Cobain out of the box.
I like the bus. She drew a bus.
She drew a bus, yeah, and you're gonna get thrown under it.
It's a big bus. I'm skinny. I can fit. This is nice.
You know, for the longest time, I've been hearing nothing but Dynamo slather this poor girl's ass for the past 2 hours.
What are you talking about?
And you know what?
Slather
this poor girl's ass for the past 2 hours.
What does that mean?
I don't want to be eaten by a cannibal.
He's actually
been
pretty good.
But let me just say, after looking at that, I'm on your side, Dynamo. Ravenshadow, get the hell out of here.
Get the fuck out of here for like 20 minutes. Look at the depth in the sign.
We'll take shifts. Then we both get smoke breaks. And
smoke breaks.
We'll just tag out.
We can only have one. There's only enough room for one smoker on the show.
Pretty said fucking rocket shock. That's fucking nice.
Honestly,
we do have to wrap up soon.
Why?
I don't want
Let's get breakfast.
You really just
breakfast all day, fucking.
You really just have to stay there, Jenny, any day now. Really, either he or I are gonna go.
So Tim from South Korea is hanging out in chat room. He just popped in and said howdy.
Babaleo.
Our boy from South Korea. We also
howdy.
Let me just catch up. Melissa has some thoughts.
I fucking love Tim.
She has some thoughts about this. She says, I'm gonna have to rewatch. I'm gonna have to rewatch because I swear I did not feel 80s. They were not dressed very 80s either. Nope. No, do not agree. Didn't feel 80s. I remember thinking, how was this 80s?
Oh,
and
no way.
She said the movie The Guest felt 80s. I remember thinking it was an 80s film and I had to check. This one, no way. And then she said, everyone has a right to their opinion unless I was seriously drunk and not remembering right. I will have to agree to disagree on this one.
Even right down to the very final scene where the freeze frame and then the zoom into the mouth. Right out of right out of Intruder.
We're talking about a scary
The soundtrack too.
The soundtrack
And the
was
soundtrack
great.
was great. Like I really like the soundtrack.
Yeah.
It was super 80s.
Okay.
The girl with the crimped ponytail on the side.
Let me talk about the one thing that really kind of ruined this flick for me: the killer.
Why?
I just thought I sucked.
Yeah.
I didn't like in these flicks, in the slasher flicks, you almost always root for the killer, right?
Yeah.
Because you don't care about the kids really necessarily.
And I'll say
No,
they did not.
You don't really care about these people either.
And I know
No, I know.
MonsterZero,
I didn't care about
some
anyone.
were attractive, but they weren't dicks aside from the boyfriend
Yeah,
and like
agreed.
the Paris Hilton chick.
But I don't know. Like this is not typically, and I don't know what they were trying to do with this. I don't know if they were trying to do the slashers that have, lots of sequels. I have no idea what their idea was. This was more like the Final Terror, I guess, than
Yeah.
Friday the 13th or Nightmare on Elm Street.
I would agree. Yeah,
but
this
I
wasn't-
feel like
this
Which I
wasn't
think is
conventional.
exactly what they were going
right,
for.
but I feel like they were parodying those the franchises. That's I felt they were parodying those. And
this was pretty.
I just didn't like the killer. I
Yeah,
wanted to
no,
root
no,
for
him.
him.
He was
Yeah.
fucking Hagrid.
I will say that this had, in my opinion, more to do. I think the difference, Wolfie, is in both those films that we were kind of talking to, they don't end up where they're supposed to be going.
Yeah, and this is very subtle. Jenny actually points out something very, very. I guess I didn't pick up on all of it, but how it subverts your expectations by going in almost the exact opposite way you would expect these films to go. I picked up on some of that, but not all of them. Like I picked up on obviously the way that the kills happened. The first kill is surprising. That's typically the person who lasts the longest, So things like that I thought were really cool. But there are some little moments in here where it's subverting those expectations in a different way, and I didn't really pick up on them, I guess.
Did anyone else get like the notes of kind of the self-awareness of Cabin in the Woods? Because I kind of got that same sense of
Oh
self-awareness.
God, you really
I know,
brought
I
up a
said the
sore
word,
subject.
I said it, but I know.
Yeah, but here's the deal.
Hotbed of
Like,
contention.
I feel like, I mean, I guess as soon as you try to cross this meta line, which this film was, you're gonna, with Cabin in the Woods being our age group's Scream, I guess. You know what I mean? Like, well, I guess Scream was really our age group Scream, but like,
It was Cabin in the Woods was our age group's Cabin in the Woods.
yeah. Wasn't Brandon Lee the age of Brandon Lee?
Oh man.
But
You know what? Did anybody think? And like, once I was immediately tuned out with the cigarette burn, and I'm like, I don't give a fuck anymore. As it progressed, I kind of thought that Robert Patrick was gonna assemble all the parents of all these kids, and then kind of come like a squad. Like I did a backstory of the girl that should have been the final girl's dad.
let's write that
yeah,
comic.
the dad should have teamed up with him.
He was like a black ops guy. I just
Sure.
had visions.
Well,
of,
he
like,
had guns all over his
Yeah,
face.
no
That's what I
shit.
mean. Like I had visions of them like taking the piss to or taking the fight to the slasher.
They did do a nice little homage to the
They tried.
the scene at the end of what's the name of the truck? Not the Black Dahlia.
Black Mama.
The Black Mamba scene. In,
Well, no, Black Maria. Black
Mar-
Maria.
Black Mariah.
Yeah,
I
Black
think it
Mamba
is,
was
yeah.
something else.
From Texas Chainsaw,
did do a nice homage to that where he ran out and then
Yeah.
ran back and got his gun. And
You know what? And you guys just brought up something. I think maybe one of my reasons for not really caring about the killer was I think I wanted it to be Robert Patrick's character.
Well, that as much as I didn't care about the killer, I cared 10 times more for Robert Patrick. I mean, that
Yeah.
character was incredible. I want the action figure of him
Right.
with the car and all of like the button that he says all those great "I was in Nom" phrases.
Right.
I want that toy.
They did do the
And then-
Friday the 13th style thing when they built up this fucking guy and then had him taken out like
Yeah,
instantaneously.
that's what I was gonna say. He was out for like a half hour. We didn't even see anything about him. So I think, and maybe that's just what I wanted out of it. I wanted to see more of him, and I actually was hoping that he was gonna. I know we're kind of spoiling things, not really, I guess, because it's pretty quickly you realize that.
Yeah, I
who
mean,
the killer
you've seen 180 slasher. You pretty much seen them all.
It's not a
but
whodunit. So.
But I feel that it really wasn't paying homage to the Friday 13th style of slasher film. I think it was paying more homage to the B-level slasher films, the films that couldn't get picked up by major studios that instead got picked up by video release labels.
Yeah.
You know, like Alone,
Vestron or some shit.
Yeah, so, like Vestron or Embassy or Canon.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it just had that feel about it. I don't know. It's just something about the feel of these films made it feel like they were homaging the B level rather than the A level slasher flicks.
In fact, I would say the Robert Patrick character. Well, no. Again, in what's his name from Naked Gun was
Leslie Nielsen.
Sort of
Enrico Palazzo.
Sort of played
Robert Kennedy.
Yeah, sort of played the character, a similar character to the Robert Patrick
in Just
Before Dawn, where he was like, these fucking, for a different reason, but he's like, these kids are somewhere where they don't go, and you have that character who's one step behind the narrative the whole time. So yeah, I think, I do think that in his death scene, he was more similar to like the character who's in the final I always forget what it is, the really good Friday the 13th that has the Corey in it and
Part 4.
Yeah. The character who's like, oh, my sister was killed by Jason and I'm hunting him, and you think it's gonna be the fucking hotness, and he just gets his back broke instantly. Like it reminded me a lot of that type character, but otherwise, that's a thought that. That's a comparison that, the MonsterZero just brought kind of to my attention. I do feel like this was, again, MonsterZero and I are very steeped in this lore and this, like, the tropes and cliches of this filmmaking. And this was really one of these movies.
Well, that Robert Patrick character, I think he was the only character in the movie that existed outside of this story. Like, he had that moment when he sits down and puts the dad's gun together. When he says the APB thing to Marilyn, the bad girl, and then later the survivor girl references it. Like, that's the thing he says all the time.
You're right. He's the only one where he's three-dimensional, where everyone else is just two dimensions, and their roles just fit what happens in this film. But there definitely is something more to him, and there's a lot of backstory that you don't immediately get through, just through stereotypes.
They gave without rolling the spoiler music, they gave just enough background to another character to think that she was representing another trope in this sort of genre. But otherwise, you're right, Robert Patrick was the only. Because, like, that one character had her sister supposedly was disappeared, and they brought it up at the beginning. But again, that was just...
Let me catch up on the chat room, and then we got to go to a verdict. There's one more thing I want to bring up before we head to verdict. So let me just catch up real quick here. We have Derek Rooks hanging out. It says, late to the party. What did I miss? I'll wait. Tom C says, fart. Tim from Korea says, was this one of those tributes from someone who was born in the 90s?
Probably.
You kids, get off my fucking lawn. And then Melissa's, she really didn't think this was 80s. She says, I'm an 80s kid in my defense and watched horror films all my life, 80s being my favorite. I can't wait to see Final Girls. That looks like a great spoof on 80s slashers. Nicholas is hanging out in chat room. I think it might be his first time. I can't remember.
Wait, now,
but he says, Bombalay, oh my lord, don't get rid of Ravenshadow.
Too late, he's already gone. We kicked him out. Ah, shit, he's back.
Nicholas, I think you need a better camera.
Tim from Korea, let me just catch up real quick. Tim from Korea, he says, it's just my problem, but I'm really touchy about the spoofs and totally tune out when someone is poking me in the ribs every other second saying, you get it, unless it's Airplane.
I don't think this is a spoof.
Yes, it is.
No. I think it's homage.
It's a bit of both.
I think that my friend is.
But that's
apples and apples, right?
I
there.
think tongue in cheek. They're self-aware.
So. This was going to be the last point I want to bring up before we head to the verdict. Is much like The Editor. If you have not seen giallo films, is this still as effective? And in this one, let's say you never grew up with the 80s slashers, you're not very familiar with them. Does this film work if you don't understand the tropes that it's playing off of?
I think that if you like to see people get their heads smashed on trees in it still works. But I think that a lot of the plot contrivances that are dumb, if you don't know that they're dumb because they're following that formula, you're gonna it'll be lost on you. You know what I mean?
I don't think so. I think it takes it back to the editor. It's the Tick. You can enjoy the Tick cartoon without being a fan of comic books.
Well, sure. I'm not saying you won't be able to enjoy it, but is it as effective? Because the editor, we got most, if not all, of the the things that it was referencing, and that made it so much greater. And I know Rachel, you had said that
But will they get it?
And I don't watch the Giallo, whatever the fuck, but I got it. I got the bit, right?
You enjoyed it.
You enjoyed it. You could still, so it's still enjoyable, but this is playing off of all those stereotypes and all the tropes and everything of 80s slashers, and that's why
in a very niche end of it.
Yeah, and it's not saying that you still can't enjoy it, but I wonder if you're not getting the entire picture if you don't understand those,
Right.
because it's like it is sort of like that, like nudging you, be like, look what we did there,
Right.
Well, it ain't splitting fucking atoms.
Right.
You know what I mean? It ain't like.
No, I'm not even saying that. I'm just
motherfucker got Avril picking his hair. You know what I mean? Like
Avril picking what?
Yeah, Avril picking Levine.
Who's next, Johnny?
Jesus Christ.
And like one thing that we didn't mention, but I thought was really kind of cutesy and clever, I only caught it the second time around, was when they get on the bus. Did anyone else notice that Wes, the black guy, says it's all fun and games until someone loses an eye?
Yeah, lost an eye.
He lost his eye.
You're
I
fucking
didn't
smart, Jenny. Great effects. Great gore effects.
Can you sing? I just got holes to fill.
And by the way, that now that you mention it, I don't know what more represents that eye gouging scene is more representative of the Beyond as far as
yeah, I mean it was very
or Thriller, A Cruel Picture.
Mm-hmm. The
neither of which is
what
a
I
slasher.
think it had to do with the killers in say Just Before Dawn though is I felt like those killers in Just Before Dawn in Bill by Force and I not too long ago just covered Just Before Dawn on Outside the Cinema. I think it was a really good talk. And one thing we talked about was how the killers in these two films we specifically cited are very mean spirited. Like Jason just kind of like is a killer of like sometimes he comes off as mean because maybe the kid's in a wheelchair or the asshole's walking on his hands down the hall or something like that. But he doesn't go out of his way to do mean and cruel and manipulative things. The killer, spoiler alert, in Just Before Dawn, end up are very mean spirited, and that's like what that scene was evocative to me, like because he was toying with him,
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
I think my favorite line in the film, though, was when Robert Patrick's character says, "I got chunks of guys like you on my stool."
And look at that, Rick Rosenthal.
Yeah,
Rick Rosenthal, which is pretty cool. He's the director of Halloween 2, director of Halloween H2O, and a couple of others.
Oh, okay.
The writing for that part, though, being sheriff exposition there was not.
I agree.
Not something I really was.
That seems like another thing that this film has in common. Like, apparently, when you sign up for sheriff in these small towns in these films, you get the first 3 pages of the script.
All right, so I think it is time. Look at this right here.
I hereby agree to uphold the law and plot contrivances.
All right, so I think it's time for the verdict. What do you guys think?
I'm with that.
Buster.
Trick or treat, baby.
I wonder if people would say you're a trick or a treat.
Trick or treat, motherfucker.
All right, we're going to give a verdict to Lost After Dark. Let's, Jenny finished last time. Why don't we start with Jenny?
Okay, I didn't actually get a verdict last time, but that's okay.
Oh my God, you didn't?
No.
Holy shit, way to go, Johnny.
I'm such a dick.
You are a dick.
Oh,
I'm the
man.
visitor. It's okay.
No, it's not
you're
okay.
better than that, Jenny.
Yeah, you are. You can take my spot. I'll give it up.
God.
Johnny, be nice to the new Oracle, Tiny White Michael Ravenshadow.
Let's get the verdict for the first one. I'm so sorry,
Verdict for
Jenny.
Hellions is
Yes. Oh,
treat,
man.
but the way that like weird Japanese candy is a treat that you're not sure you like it, but you keep eating it to make certain. I'll watch that 3 or 4 more times, but I'm still not 100% on it.
Like Pocky.
Metal. You did that?
My life sucks. Why didn't I die?
But Lost After Dark, total treat. Loved it, loved it, loved it. I will make all of my friends watch it because I thought it was phenomenally, just enough horror, but more like, hey guys, we're in the same club. We've seen all the same movies. Let's all have a nice sit down and talk about it.
All right, there you go. I feel like a dick now.
Way to go.
So let's go to the dick. Ravenshadow.
I agree with everything what Jenny says. I think
he's not a dick because, as MonsterZero pointed out before, they don't make any noise.
Hey. Are you sure?
Like giraffes.
Yeah, giraffes.
Exactly.
Kind of like an awkward giraffe.
Or a condor.
Like I said, almost a perfect film, except for two things that really took me out of it. But overall, I really enjoyed this flick. Should have had more nudity, but I would say it's a treat.
All right, MZ.
Should have had more nudity. Should have had nudity. It didn't have any nudity.
That's fair.
The dog was naked.
Yes, I saw its pee-pee.
You're a fucking weird guy.
Thank you. I aim to please.
Aim over there.
I I feel a lot of the tropes of the VHS horror boon.
Yeah.
Was very eminent here. It was very obvious here. Not so much drive-in or not so much grindhouse. So let's throw out that whole idea with the missing reel. That was just a cop-out, and we would all have to agree on that.
Mm-hmm. I think we all do.
But I thought the performances were pretty good. I got to agree with you, Johnny, about the killer and not caring about too much for him.
You want to be so much like him.
No, I don't. No, I don't. Believe me, I wouldn't forget Jenny. And they're right.
She could only wish.
And she would never forget me.
Oh man,
she can't possibly forget me.
Jesus Christ.
She can't possibly forget me.
Nobody can unsee bologna nipples, so she would never forget you.
Even though she looked like fucking Bruce Campbell at the end of Evil Dead 2, her hair got a gray stripe.
But
when she came in here.
But I mean, the important thing as far as slasher films go is the killer and the kills. The killer you couldn't really care much about, but the kills were pretty decent. Like I said, I felt it had the typical tropes of a 1980s slasher film, and it successfully did that. The soundtrack I thought was pretty good. The stereotypes I thought were spot on. And
some great racism.
Yeah, there was no racism. Shut up. And
this was before they invented racism.
Yes. So
before
overall,
Ravenshadow was born, you
mean? So overall, this was, despite its flaws, a solid treat.
Oh man, to even do the verdict yet, that was pretty long. Mars.
Treat.
All right.
Black boots.
Black boots.
Black boots, black tights.
All right, for me,
I'm lock.
I thought this was a nice throwback piece, but ultimately it is a modern day retelling of those 80s slashers, and I kind of am rethinking my stance now because I didn't think it took it in a new direction. I think it just was like a carbon copy with slight little changes here and there.
Well, that killer was unwanted children.
Shut up. But I do think, and there's the classic ending right there, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Nice tongue, by the way. I gotta.
Jesus.
Looks
So
like an ass.
Right, slow it down.
But I felt like it was too much of a carbon copy. Whereas I think a lot of the... You're going to kill Dynamo.
Dynamo's got a little heart shape on his neck. It looks like a heart.
That's where the hole is. Don't fucking really?
I did think that there was a missed opportunity. I thought they could have taken this in a slightly different direction and had it be a little bit more unique. But, I think now watching, watching it again and hearing you guys talk about it, I want to watch it again to see if I feel differently about that. So I am on the fence, Ravenshadow, about that concept of it.
Good, push him off.
But I just didn't like the killer in this. And, you're not going to like the killer in all these slashers. Like the killer in, if you guys remember Final Terror, that was more of like a whodunit. But then at the end, that was the key to it, I guess, was more of a whodunit. But I don't know. I just didn't care for this killer, and I would have liked to have a killer that you root for when all these kids are dying. So I thought he was just kind of bland. But I think the kids were spot on. Like, you weren't really supposed to like them anyway. It hit every beat for the stereotypes and the look, and just sort of even the dialogue was spot on for what they would have said in an 80s flick like this. So I think if you're looking for an 80s slasher, like a throwback to that, definitely need to check this out. So for me, I'm going to say it's a tepid treat. It's a treat, and it's trending a little bit towards middling territory for me. But this is one of the ones that I definitely want to rewatch, and who knows, maybe I'll change my thoughts based on some of this discussion. But regardless, it is a good flick, and I think you should definitely seek this out. Did I miss anyone? We got everyone this time? Okay, good. So that's going to wrap up our coverage of Lost After Dark. It seemed like this was a pretty interesting selection of films we had this week.
Yeah.
None were those like big ticket items we've been waiting for. These were kind of ones that were on the peripheral a little bit, but I'm glad that we did them because, I think they're films that other people should know about, and they're out there on VOD right now. So go to Amazon, iTunes, your VOD of choice, and if you are so inclined after hearing us talk about it and you want to check them out, go ahead and do so and throw them a few bucks of your cash bucks and check it out.
Yeah, and if you're a really big Robert Patrick fan, you'll be thrilled.
Yeah, absolutely.
You get a big 2 for Tuesday.
2 for Tuesday. All right, so that's going to do it for our film reviews. Now we have 11 or 12 fucking voicemails. This is ridiculous. You guys are amazing. So what we're going to do is we're going to just go right into some feedback here. So let's...
Feedback. Well, that's a different show.
That's a different show, yeah. Am I going to need to make a bumper for that?
No tears, please. We have much feedback to get to.
You know what? I want to hear from Josh first, because I'm really curious to see if he had a chance to watch either of these, and if he had, what he thinks, especially of this one. I hope he got a chance to watch Lost After Dark. So let's hear from Josh.
Hey guys, it's Josh from the Arkham Film Society.
In the boiler room?
Just calling in, give you guys my thoughts on this week's films. I guess first off with Hellions, I'd seen a trailer for it a while back. Was really looking forward to it. I really enjoyed Bruce McDonald's Pontypool, and I think overall, I think it's a really good film, but I think at some points it suffers from its own, over-stylized nature. I really enjoyed some of what they were doing with the desaturation and adding, like select color here and there, but I really think that they kind of pushed it so far that it ended up being a detriment to the rest of the film. It kind of got to the point where it was just distracting. But overall, I thought it was a very effective film. It had some really good scares. I thought the exploding pumpkins were a little bit stupid, but I guess that was part of the over-stylized nature. I don't know. I would recommend it. I guess it's kind of a tepid treat, but I also wouldn't be adverse to giving it another shot. Maybe sometime down the road I'll give it a rewatch, and it might totally turn around for me. The second film in our Canadian Robert Patrick double feature is the film Lost After Dark. Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. This just wasn't good.
Come on, Josh.
I don't know, with all this marketing as being this throwback to 80s horror, 80s slashers, and last week when Mars was complaining that he thought Deathgasm was making fun of metalheads, I think Lost After Dark is making fun of slasher fans. I think like sitting through this film was an insult to a fan of actual slasher films, because it gives you pretty much none of what you expect, unless what you expect is some predictable twists, some shitty CGI effects, lack of interesting kills, and some boring characters. Then I guess maybe you got exactly what you were looking for. I mean, this film really fails in almost every, aspect. It seemed like a chore to sit through.
Wow.
There is one little thing that I will give them credit for doing something interesting. And that is that they set up the one girl as the main character, as she's the good girl that you would presume is going to be the final girl. You link to her sister, dying years before, and then they just kill her off immediately.
Oh,
that was the one
spoiler
good thing this
alert.
film did.
Spoiler alert.
Other than that, I just thought
was people.
it was overacted without being funny, and as I mentioned before, the effects were pretty shitty, and there's a lot of unfortunate CGI. Not what you would find in an 80s slasher film. Their very random insertion of film, grain. Well, not even grain. It was just like spotting on the film where it would have been speckled from scratches. Or like flashing. Like, it just didn't fit the entirety of the film. Nor did it fit the majority of the look of the film, because the film didn't even look like they were shooting it in an old style. So, this is definitely not a recommend. This is definitely a trick. And I don't know. I hope these people learn their lesson and try to, not capitalize off of something they obviously don't understand.
Learn your lesson.
So, so those are this week's films.
Ghetto Tim.
Thank you very much for including me. And I don't know. Hey, I'm going to see you guys at Rock and Shock soon.
Nice. Hell yeah.
So, hey, you guys
great.
have a good one. I'll
Bring
see
the
you
fucking
soon.
mood down.
Awesome.
Hey, you get off of my lawn.
I was super interested in hearing Josh's thoughts on both, but especially Lost After Dark, because I know he is also such a huge fan of 80s slashers. So it's a different take, Like I for a little while was on the fence, but then ended up coming over more toward liking it. But I can see how Josh would feel that way. But he, that's like his opinion, man.
He's
so
just cranky.
You guys are all sensitive.
Yeah, he just, he probably got into the movie cheap for his AIP card.
He's entitled to be wrong. It's fine.
Oh, snap!
It's so funny in the chat room. Melissa's like, "Thank you, Josh. Exactly. So I wasn't drunk." Nicholas, our boy Nicholas, the Trick or Treat Radio historian, is hanging out in the chat room now, and he says, "I think lately the '80s throwback is the new niche. Some were good, some were bad. Turbo Kid good. Lost After Dark apparently not good.
No.
I haven't seen it to judge it fully."
No, it's good.
Did you hear the show, Nicholas?
He's a historian. He's not up on.
He'll have to wait and listen.
Yeah, he's got to wait about 2 or 3 weeks before he can finally listen to this show.
Stop playing with that bottle cap. You're driving me nuts. You're going to drive the fans nuts.
My only problem with these 80s throwback films is no one is getting the Deadites to score them.
Yeah.
The fuck, people? We work for cheap.
They dropped the ball.
Tom C says, "I will never ever forget Bologna Zero."
Neither will I.
And Nicholas says he loves the off-mic Dynamo laughs.
I did get a text earlier that they thought you said nipple prince.
Nipple prince? Like the king of pop?
Yeah,
like
the
the artist formerly known as Nipple Prince.
MonsterZero, the nipple prince. The self-proclaimed nipple prince.
Purple nurples, purple nurples.
Oh, jeez. And then Nicholas just chimed in and said Bruce Willis is dead at the end of Sixth Sense.
Thanks, asshole.
He heard our spoilery.
This is what it sounds like when nipples cry.
Boom, 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 boom. All right.
Wow.
So
Way to go, Apollonia.
Apparently the Home Office sent us a Rock and Shock ad for us to run.
Nice.
To promote our appearance at Rock and Shock, which MonsterZero will not be at.
Yes.
Way to go, team player.
So let's check this out. This is we're gonna check this out for the first time, and who knows, maybe we can give it to some other shows if it ends up being a good one. So let's see.
Can I be on that one?
Attention podcasting fans. Is there anything that you love more than Trick or Treat Radio?
Dear God, no.
And if you had a chance to meet them in person, is there anything on earth that would stop you?
Dear God, no!
Then good news! On the weekend of October 17th and 18th, in beautiful Worcester, Massachusetts, the cast of Trick or Treat Radio will be making a live appearance at America's premier horror-themed convention, Rockin' Shock.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
Yes, indeed! Why, just listen to the gang sit around a table and talk to each other for hours on end, when you can go to Rockin' Shock and see them in person, sitting around a table and talking to each other for hours on end.
Pretty much.
My nipples explode with delight!
This is your chance to talk to the world's greatest monster-hunting electroshock band and tell them what you've always wanted to say.
You are physically repulsive, intellectually retarded, vulgar, insensitive, selfish, stupid. You have no taste, a lousy sense of humor, and you smell.
But wait!
Pretty
There's
accurate.
more! While at their prestigious booth, you won't need an Amazon link to purchase exclusive CDs, t-shirts, stickers, and buttons. Special Raven Rooters and Shadow Puppets will even receive a free, coveted, autographed 8x10 of the most popular member of the show.
I'd buy that for $1.
And if you're very lucky, you might even hear the band itself play a new track of its upcoming, long-awaited feature-length album.
Gummy bears, found together in there in every way, motherfucker. Great invention that's beyond compare. Go fuck yourself. We are the gummy bears, bitches.
So what are you waiting for? That's the Rock and Shock Convention on October 17th and 18th in Worcester, Massachusetts. Go to rockandshock.com for details and directions. Trick or Treat Radio, live and in person. Be there.
Be sure and tell them Large Mark sent ya.
Oh, that was great.
See what you miss when you leave?
Oh, will you stop?
You do. You miss all the feedback. We have some
I'm not
very
missing any feedback. I'm listening to it right now.
Jesus
Yeah,
Christ,
now you
you're missing
are.
the
Yeah.
fucking point.
Nicholas says, "Dear God, no!" And Melissa says, "My nipple has a first name. It's BOLOGN." Why? I think that's bologna. Robert E. Ronsky says, "I've never heard Worcester described as beautiful before." It's
Robert E.
true.
Ronsky.
Robert Ronsky.
Man, I love that dude.
And Nicholas says, "I wish I lived near Worcester. Rock and Shock sounds cool."
Did I thank him last week for how many times I've
Robert E. Ronsky.
read that fucking book?
Probably.
It's so well fucking made too. Like mine's starting to look a little banged up, but like not as much as I've read it.
All right, well, we have a bunch of voicemail on SpeakPipe, so let's get to it. This is from Anonymous.
Hey guys, this is Jeremy San Giacomo, aka Slagoth.
There you go.
I had to call in and let you know that I fucking love the show. Thank you, Derek Rook, for turning me on to it.
Thank you, Derek.
I'm down here in Florida, slaving away, cleaning pools, and you guys are getting me through my days.
Wow.
Nice.
I just think your show is amazing, and like if you're part of you feel like you're part of the conversation, that's a good show. And I'm always wanting to pipe in now and fucking shit, I'm a huge fan of horror, and I just want to say, Dynamo, you fucking hang in there, man. Now I'm thinking about you, and I'm sure the fans are always thinking about you, and people love you, so don't let it get you down too much. You'll get through this shit. And anyway, just want you to know I'm thinking about you.
Thanks, sir.
And just a shout out to all you guys, man. MonsterZero, Johnny Wolfenstein, Ravenshadow, and of course Dynamo.
Baby.
Like I said, I'm a fucking fan now. I'm listening to as much as I can. I'm trying to go back now and listen to episodes.
All right.
And just keep, man, it's fucking great. So I love the show. And
Jesus.
anyway, like I always say, love and light and just a sprinkle of darkness. Keep that shit in your hearts. Cheers.
Cheers to you, brother.
All right.
Thank you, man.
Thanks.
Thank you very much.
I am completely, on a daily basis, overwhelmed by the amount of love and people saying nice things over the last few weeks since I've been recuperating. I would say I'm about 89% right now.
89?
Yeah.
Are you sure it's not 89.2 or 89.3?
No,
Okay.
I'm close.
All right.
I'm not leaking anymore. I do have a strange hickey-looking thing, but otherwise I'm okay.
You can always come up with a good story for that, though.
It's true.
No, seriously, that was fucking great, Jeremy. Thank you, man.
Thanks so much, Jeremy. It like literally, and these guys, or Johnny Wolfenstein, that actually, understands stuff about.
It's because you want to be me.
Because you want to be him. You want to be inside him.
Right, I do.
It's like he's Dirk Diggler and you're fucking Philip Seymour Hoffman in fucking Boogie Nights. You want to kiss him on the mouth, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, you took it a little far there.
Jesus.
We made a joke and you took it a little too far.
Referential.
Can I kiss you on the mouth,
Yeah.
please?
So yeah, I really.
That's probably premium content.
Yeah, but what I was going to say before I got interrupted by the side of the table that doesn't have enough chromosomes to be a full man. But
Hey, stop talking about Jenny like that, all right?
So,
You stop talking about Jenny.
Fuck off!
All right, slow it down. Don't
All
you
right,
leave
all
at
right.
this point?
It is like 12:30.
yeah.
Let's
Anyway, yeah. So yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I'm trying to say thank you to people that are fucking nice.
Yeah, because we have like
Yeah,
10 more
you're gonna
voicemails,
have
so we have to keep going here.
You're gonna have an open casket. It's gonna say AIF on the side, and a truck's gonna come dumping in the back.
But that was really sweet, Jeremy. Thank you so much.
Like,
man.
thank you.
Call in anytime.
Thank you, Jeremy, and thank you
Yes.
everyone again. I
Yeah.
can't. It really I weep once a day over how kind everybody is.
Do you want to edit this?
No, why? People,
He's a grown man.
like if you go
so what?
if you go through if I were to show you some of these messages, or you go through my Facebook feed, like these
I don't think you want to show him.
fans
Yeah, I mean-
are unfucking believable. How? Yeah, you're right. It's,
And Jeremy, to be
He's
fair,
a
it's
man.
been 20 years that we know him, but
Yeah.
I mean, he's a
You're
man.
new to the
He's
pod,
a man.
but-
Give him a break, I mean, he's a man, so he leaks once a day. So what?
Nicholas says, Sir Isaac is the master of voicemails. I know he's a supervillain, but hail to the king.
fair.
Wow.
Not that that's Sir Isaac, but
Yeah, it's the home office, you
Yeah.
know. I think they're on the same Rolodex. They're right next to each other.
Yeah.
So
must be listening.
speaking of the devil, speak of the devil, let's hear from Nick, the Trick or Treat Radio historian.
There you go.
Hey guys, Nick here.
Hey, Nick.
I'm gonna do some Ravenshadowisms, and best
boy.
one to start off with is Bambaleo. Oh my lord! I thought the movie was kind of like. Can we take? Who's next, Johnny? I think it's time for us to take a break.
Last boys.
Oh, these palm malls are so good. Bambaleo, oh my lord. The sexy dicks were cute for like a minute. Clock's my dude. Clark Kent's my dude. Superman's the best. Strap on with a couple of Narragansetts. Yo, bada bing, bada boom. Stir the sauce. Oh my lord.
Nick, he's gonna listen
No, I
to this
didn't
10
watch
times.
the movie because I fell asleep because I got drunk and passed out on the couch. Oh my lord, Bambaleo. I thought the movie was kind of like Transformers meets Independence Day. Oh, stir the sauce. Oh my lord.
Did you say that?
MonsterZero, you're outrageous. What the hell are we doing? Who's next, Johnny? Bambaleo. Oh my lord.
Next time
I
you go
think
on
we should
vacation,
go
we're
to the
bringing
Lucky
Nick in.
Dog. May 7th. Remember to go? by the big scary monster hunts at midnights. When I'm supposed to be promoting that, I forget. Go on the interwebs. I don't know how to use it, but you could probably buy it.
Spot on.
Pick up some Miller High Lifes. It's pretty good. Stir the sauce. Whoa! See the brajul on that guy? That was outrageous.
I could listen to this for
That's
hours.
my favorite part of It Follows. Staring at that old dude's brajul hanging off the house. Oh, did I say that? Bombaleo, oh my lord. Alright, Trick or Treat Radio. Ravenshadow out. Blacked out. Black lung.
Next time you all go on vacation, we're bringing Nick in.
Please. Nick, you can sit in my chair, brother.
Oh, yeah.
I could legitimately listen to that on a loop.
Yeah, I could too.
His brajol will touch the chair that your brajol touches every fucking week.
Exciting.
Stir the sauce.
Stir the sauce. I don't remember that.
No, he said it a couple of times.
I don't doubt it, but I just don't remember it.
Yeah, usually with Joe, it's like you're Italian, I'm Italian.
yeah.
Who's stirring the sauce? We're both there.
Stir the sauce.
We got another one from Nick. Let's.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, I don't know.
Joe DiCanio.
Let's hear from Nick again.
Tiptoe by the window, that is where I become. Tiptoe through the tulips with me. Oh, tiptoe by the wind
So
by the
today you guys don't
wind
screen these
by
at
the
all.
willow tree, come tiptoe through the tulips with me.
Dance, Dynamo, dance.
Nadine, it flowers as me weep. Soaring away, and if I kiss you in the garden, in the moonlight, would you pardon me? So tiptoe by the tulips with me.
Get a little mouth harp. That's creepy.
Weird. We got a guess next.
Lady, in flowers as me.
What the hell?
I think he thinks his phone shut off after the last one.
I know, right?
In the garden, in the moonlight, would you pardon me? Some tiptoe by the tulips with me.
Oh my God. I'm awake now.
I'm sober now.
Oh my God.
Jenny, you ever have this at Factory of Terror? You got this a lot?
Tiptoe,
We have a job waiting for
Bombaleo.
him. Are you kidding?
Oh my God. That was dying.
It's leaking again.
Yep. He sprung a leak. He's going off like a water wiggle.
Watch out! You're in the direct.
You're in the danger zone.
You're in the Gallagher zone.
It flowers as me weep.
Wow.
If after that, Gene Siskel
Can't hear you.
I can't even find my mic. I'm one of you fucking guys. If after that Gene Siskel calls in, this is gonna turn into a fucking Gallagher show.
Well, let's play another voicemail now.
Oh,
Thank you, Nicholas. That was amazing.
You're the man, Nicholas, brother.
oh man.
It's my joint. I saw the sound.
Oh, wait. I think I know who this is. Wait, is this who I think it is?
I got some nougat. You would hardly recognize me. I'm so glad. How could a monster like me not have nougat? Why would I bother with vanilla? It's not for me. Ooh. Nugget, nugget. I saw the nugget, and I opened up my mouth and ate the nugget. Life is demanding without sweets and candy. I saw the nugget, and I opened up my mouth and ate the nugget. I am gonna drag you up and get into your gut where there might be nugget.
Elizabeth. Oh, she's walking out. She's leaving. She's had enough.
Oh,
God damn.
Holy shit.
Nugget.
The dog is scared. The girls are leaving. What the fuck?
Oh my fucking Christ.
It's nugget.
Nugget.
Jiminy crickets.
Oh my fuck.
Oh, Jesus Christ, that's funny.
We're gonna do just like a fucking voicemail show.
Oh, all right. We got a few more. We gotta get through these.
Jesus.
Hey, fellas, this is Jethro Lamacon calling again. I just got home from work, and I'm pretty excited. I wanted to share something with you. We got a phone call at work today. I work at a casino. And this lady had called to say that, she saw our commercial, and she disapproves and says we're in league with Satan and that the commercial promotes, sexual intercourse and compared us to Sodom and Gomorrah. So I'm pretty damn hyped about that. And she said we're all sinners and we're going to hell. So hell to the yeah. Anyway, I just wanted to share that, and I'll be looking forward to seeing you tonight at the show.
Thank you.
Talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.
Awesome. Thanks, Jethronomicon.
Yeah.
That's a pretty interesting.
Yeah, nobody's told me that I'm Satan.
Oh, man. Whew. I think we woke up the whole fucking apartment.
No one's going to bed.
Let's.
I honestly can't feel my feet. Like my arm hurts. I'm sure I had.
This is from Chip and Kale.
Oh, no.
Rescue Rangers.
Ravenshadow needs a fix. He doesn't need a shrink, 'cause it's 1, 2, 3 packs of camels. He'll go through it like snags. He don't need no jogging or some kill. He's just a fucking ass. Ravenshadow smokes the camels. Ravenshadow doesn't care about his lungs. He doesn't need no afterlife, 'cause he'll be God. He's just smokes and then he'll die. Ravenshadow smokes the cams. Ravenshadow doesn't care about his lungs. He just doesn't care if he died. He eats his fucking is a shithead. Ravenshadow is a Zato. Ravenshadow!
Oh, my God.
We're getting a lot of musical.
This
Jesus.
is my joint.
Well, if you listen to the show after you left, you know we have been.
God damn.
There's a whole lot of content after you leave.
Yeah. There's a lot that happens. Oh, man, that was fucking amazing. Ravenshadow.
Holy shit. You guys are really trying to put me back in the hospital.
All right, let's hear from Raven Auntie.
Uh-oh.
Hello, Ravenshadow. This is your auntie.
Hey, Aunt.
This is Raven Auntie. How's you doing, baby?
Good. I got your card.
Where was you the other night? I made you some ravioli and some meatballs. You didn't come and get them, eat them. I got all your favorite snacks.
What do you got?
Ravenshadow, can you do me a favor? Pick up something at the corner store.
Yeah, I'll go down Iandoli's.
Give me a pack of Camels. Oh, some biscuits. And give me one of those those drinks where they got the pina colada in them.
Yeah.
They got the fruits in the pina colada.
I can do that.
And it had alcohol in it too, Ravenshadow.
For sure.
Auntie needs a drinky. Come by, Ravenshadow. I got the ravioli cooking.
You starting a sauce?
Come by, Ravenshadow.
Okay. You know you're my step auntie. Doesn't count.
Oh my God. Jesus Christ. Are you going to get that stuff for your aunt on the way home?
That was a weird voice, man.
Raven Auntie. All right. Yeah, Melissa just said you have the best callers, and I definitely agree.
It's not easy, Melissa.
All right, we heard from. Oh, it looks like Tom C. What Tom?
Hey guys and girl, it's Tom C with some
Whoa.
trivia.
How did he know?
This week's question
He's talking
is:
MonsterZero.
What is Jenny Ismy's favorite sci-fi universe?
Wait, am I supposed to know the answer, or does Tom
Unless
see
she's
it?
already talked about it on the show. I know.
Star Trek.
I know too.
What a creep.
He's a weird fucking guy.
Got that snidely whiplash mustache going on.
My guess would be Star Trek. What's
true?
your guess?
I think I said Star Trek.
I'll say Star Trek too.
I'll say Star Trek, but I've been thinking about. I'll lie and say Star Wars, but I definitely have been, thinking about zombie.
I mean, I want to say Harry Potter so bad now, but it's Star Trek.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, we all win.
I really enjoy the inner space canon, the mythology that Dennis Quaid, and the motherfucker from SCTV.
The inner space.
All right, we have one final voicemail.
I'm done. I'm fucking done. I can't do
One
this last
final.
voicemail. I can't do it.
We're just gonna have to end the show as soon as this.
We might have to like the fucking Jim Jones motherfucker. We just gotta go out.
Oh god damn.
All right, here's the last voicemail.
Hello. I am Jacqueline, a 27-year-old Wisconsin cannibal. I am here to share with you tonight an excerpt from Homer's Iliad, a cornerstone of the Japanese transcendental movement of the late 18th century.
Finally.
My hooker is dead. I killed her with my pillow. I'm still having sex. Inspiring and insightful into the nature of the human condition. Now please, kindly see to this matter and ensure that it does not happen again.
Wow.
Huh.
Is that evidence? Oh, Jesus Christ.
Well, we ended on a high note.
Yeah. Thank you, Jacqueline.
Thank you for the Iliad.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
Yeah, great. I was just thinking that how long has it been since we had a supervillain or somebody call and then boom.
I know, right?
I'm like, wow, this is so better than the
We've had
Southern
songs.
than the Southern Revenger causing property damage and then
Yeah. Oh, Robert E. Ronsky says, the Inner Space franchise, why didn't this happen?
That's a valid question.
All right. We need to seriously end this episode.
what would it be called? Inner space?
In more space.
In more yourself.
See, up until half hour ago, I thought we were having a good show. Jenny brought the science. She brought the pictures. She brought the notes.
She brought the clubbering.
She brought the clubbering. She brought Los Cretan. We have Ravenshadow and his Ravenshadowisms. We had a little bit of everything tonight. And then it was made complete by you. Not you guys.
thank you.
You out there.
Oh, hell yeah.
Everyone out there. Like, those voicemails were fucking perfect.
Jiminy crickets.
They're like batting 1,000 if you like sports, If you don't like sports, then...
Go Brady.
Good job.
Yeah, I love hockey.
Man. That was fucking awesome. So thank you, everyone. Like, seriously, keep them coming. Like, if we have to make the show a little bit longer because you sent us a ton of voicemails, that's a perfectly valid reason to make it a little bit longer. So I think we got to close things out.
Or if we have to make it a little longer because one of these guys takes 25 minutes from the state tree. Either or.
Yeah, either or. So I think that's going to do it. Jenny, thank you so much for being here. This is, I'm glad that we finally got you in. It's been definitely a long time coming, but.
Hashtag audition.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. It was awesome to be here. And plug factoryofterror.com and Dare to Scare.
There you go.
And me and Jenny have something really, really big that we are working on the horizon.
Jenny and I.
It's true. Our sleeves are full.
Yep.
It's right up our sleeves.
Yep. So, in fact, if we could have agreed on a company name, we would have mentioned it today. But
How many companies do you have?
3. And are we counting the Deadites?
Sure.
Are we counting me and Tiny as an overarching thing? 5.
What about Blue Pygmy?
7.
Considering that it took me, it's not
What?
that I don't want to put out that game, but it's
Why
not gonna
don't you encompass it all under one? Why do you need all these different companies?
Like Trick or Treat Enterprises.
because I need it to, because I want them to all run independently.
Okay.
Because when you here's what happens. This is all the Deadites Incorporated, right? And then
Deadites Incorporated.
and then some
D-I-T.
and then some
Deadites.
crazy and some crazy shut-in has some say, and then and then Donna Matrix is mad at me for something legal, and like this way I can just be on my own.
It's an elaborate money laundering scheme for about $15.
Yep. 22.
That's pretty accurate.
2250. You can match what I have between all 4 companies. And in fairness, Dynamire is not really me. Just my name is on it. She's all the fucking talent. It's like all of these. Like I'm just a facilitator. I'm not any of
You
the
just
talent.
want your name on the marquee.
Sure. Yeah. But I mean, at the same time, like I don't know. Like at one time, I didn't say that this company should be Dynamo blank. So.
I don't like that name for company.
Bad name.
Yeah, it's a bad name.
I did say Blue Pygmy because I wasn't using it for that other one anymore though. So.
All right, so that's going to do it, Jenny. Thank you, and everyone go check out, if you're in the area, Factory of Terror, and the app again was Dare to Scare.
Yeah, but
Okay.
don't go see her on October 23rd because she will have the night off because the Deadites are playing at blah 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 Ralph's.
Blah blah blah.
Chadwick Square Diner, not the lucky.
You mean
dog.
Dino Ralph's?
Yeah, not the luckiest dog music hall.
The luckiest dog.
We close early enough to make it there, so
Yeah.
I'm going to be there after.
Nice,
but
good.
It's happening.
Oh man, so you should go see Factory of Terror.
And then
go to Coney Island.
Oh,
and
special
then go.
announcement: Transdusk,
Just
featuring
added,
the
yeah.
Rev, has been added to that show
Yeah.
on the
Oh,
23rd.
word?
Yeah, because apparently we're having a Lollapalooza amount of bands playing in between 9.
Who's on the second stage?
I don't know. There isn't a second stage. Us, I hope.
MonsterZero.
Yeah, because no matter what time we start, people are still going to have to tune their instruments and stuff. Like they're fucking surprised that we have a show.
Melissa wants to know, Jenny, what you're drinking. She must have missed earlier.
It's the Leinenkugel Harvest Patch Shandy. It's the best pumpkin beer that you can possibly get. Do it with a cinnamon sugar rim like they do in the bar. It's totally worth it.
It is delicious. I've had, what is this called? There's another
I'm
one.
like cinnamon on his rim.
Leinenkugel Harvest Patch Shandy.
Can I get some more cinnamon on the rim, please?
I had this. This is the.
We got to end this.
This is the best one I've had, but I had another good one that had a parody name of. I almost said Alice's Restaurant. Rosemary's Baby.
Rosemary's Baby.
Yeah, I'll
Remember
ask
children.
my special lady friend. But yeah, remember children wherever you go, there you are.
Thank you, everyone, for tuning in to episode 167 of Trick or Treat Radio. This was a fucking blast. Thank you to Los Cretin. Thank you to Jenny Isme. Thank you to everyone who took the time to send those awesome fucking voicemails. And thank you to the directors for giving us 2 pretty decent flicks. Next week, we'll be back. We're going to review Attack on Titan. And our guest in studio is going to be a British supervillain. Who could I be talking about?
Right. Yeah.
Who am I referring to?
Wait, but I can't do a British accent.
Yeah, please.
Work
All
on
right.
it.
That's it, guys. We'll see you next week. See ya.